bounce it down. East Perth kicking towards the city end of the ground, won by Cocker the first bounce, knocked on by Daru. Cormac over the ball, and he'll take a free kick for East Perth, putting his body in. Been impressed on the occasions we've seen McCormick as he sends the ball towards the outer side, fisted away from Dennis. Cocker roving the pack, over the ball. Cocker held without it surely. No free kick. Davidson working hard for the Tigers, feeds it back. This is Cam Shepherd, knocked away by Cocker. Beers over the ball. Really, it seems pretty slippery out there as Beers pulls it around the corner, only as far as Wayne Otway. Otway out his side, centre wing, chips it in short and finds Blakely. All did really was square the ball. Blakely plays on and kicks towards half forward. Williams opts out of the contest. Over the top, Starcevic got to the back of a Claremont defender, and the kick will be taken down there by Brayshaw. They sort themselves out. Brayshaw goes short and finds Morton. So the two half-back flankers combining. Morton has the ball at right half-back. Seems Morgan's playing on the forward line as the short one comes into Daryl Panizza, celebrating his 150th league game today. Panizza from half-back towards half-forward, high kick. O'Connell is up and takes a very strong mark in these conditions. David O'Connell in the true centre half-forward position, too far out to score. Goes looking for Scott, waiting behind Morgan, takes the diving mark. Aggressively gets out. David Morgan, a handy player, chips in short. Otway. He's got a big job to do today to curb the running players of Claremont and counterbalance their ability as he kicks towards centre field. Christian couldn't take the mark. He's getting a free kick. Seems Beers may be marking Christian. If that's the case, Beers starting in centre half back. This is Williams. Tom Williams for a more central location. Papoto over the top, couldn't take the mark. Larry Kickett rather tentative. Over the ball now, it's knocked out for East Perth to Blakely. Blakely with a chance to kick a goal, and he screws it back magnificently. Chris Allen set it up in that pack, and Blakely finished it off.
There's certainly nothing wrong with East Perth's endeavour in the early minutes of the game. Midfield, a lot of changes here as Campbell was picking up Scott. Scott started at centre half forward for Claremont momentarily, went down to full forward, and Campbell went with him. But yes, I think the task for Otway and the smaller players, Darui, Papoto, and these sort of players is a very, very big one. As long as they can contain the midfield run of Claremont, well, East Perth will be right with them.
Back in the centre of umpire Bucky. East Perth getting first blood. Cocker knocks it down. Malaxis dragged off the ball. Crashing through was Kelly. Another chance for him. Kelly and Panizza socket away by the ladder towards the Claremont half-back line. Kelly followed up, knocked it out of the pack, but this is Mitchell. Mitchell bursts across his own half-back line and kicks it back towards centre field. Derek Kickett from behind. Spectacular mark! Magnificent mark by Derek Kickett opposed to David Morgan. Gives it to Mitchell, and now Mitchell's in trouble. Kickett a chance to make amends. Spears a hand pass out to Brayshaw. Brayshaw boots it out towards left half forward where Allen leads in the race for East Perth. Allen has the ball, blanketed nicely by Panizza close to the boundary line. He keeps it in play. This is Wright. It's a very late whistle there. The ball out of bounds will have a throw in.
See that mark of Kickett's, Dennis, that's absolute magic in it, particularly with the greasy conditions. Absolute gem of a mark.
Throw in left half forward for Claremont. O'Connell wins it forward to the pack. Panizza going through, paddling it towards the boundary line. Now he's got some time. Pulls it back deep into the pocket. Dennis getting back there for East Perth. It bounces out of bounds and will have a throw in. East Perth a goal. Claremont yet to score. 4 minutes played opening term. As you can see, not many in the outer today. Most of them taking cover. That's the beauty of Subiaco Oval. Begovic knocks it out of the pack. Mitchell, who's lively early, is looking for Panizza. He's surrounded by East Perth players. Cocker coming through but left it behind. Still Cocker in trouble. Tries to get it across to Bartlett, who knocks it off the ground. Giannakis gets a hand pass out of the congestion. Otway leads in the race. Feeds it out wide to Morgan. And they need a kick, East Perth. Morgan's kick not a particularly good one. It bounces to Malaxis. Malaxis gets through the traffic, chips it in nicely to Morton. Morton drops what he should have taken. Still he goes, though, does Morton. Robbed of the ball by Dennis. Shocking kick. My word, the skills not all that high to start this game as Beers picks it up. Wobbles one back into the forward line. Bartlett backs himself against the ball. Now there's a chance for Panizza. He's in the thick of it early too, Daryl Panizza. That's a fine effort from there. Magnificent snap. Daryl Panizza playing his 150th league game.
he's one of those midfielders that East Perth have got to try and curb, as there he is on your screen, about to pick the ball up. That's a first grab situation. That's very, very important in these conditions. And one very, very quick look, and that was enough for Darrell to finish it off. And he'll be looking for a big one to remember his 150th. I guess not all that many players get that far, and he's been a wonderful player for Claremont over a long period of time.
5.5 minutes played. It's a goal apiece. What breeze there is favouring the western end of the ground, the end of which Claremont are kicking. East Perth won the toss as Cocker flicks it backward of the pack through the legs of Blakely. Relaxes over the ball. He's going to get a free kick. Play on is the call. The kick was awarded, but the ball comes into the forward line for Claremont. Only to be marked this time by Giannakis, who repulsed the attack. He looks towards the outer side. Awkward looking kick. Campbell keeps it in play. Runners inside. Gets over the top to Morgan. Now Morgan breaks around the outer side wing. Makes a lengthy run. Goes looking for Allen. Made it awkward for him. Allen juggled attempt at the mark. This is Williams. Williams towards half forward. Good kick as he finds Papato on the burst. Papato wasting no time. Goes across the ground, and why I don't know. Two Claremont players out there. Davidson dropped the mark. This is Starcevic. Feeds Allen. Now Chris Allen, who helped make the first goal, goes down towards full forward. Blakely from behind. Almost the mark in front to Morton. Brayshaw dives after the ball with courage and is going to get the free kick. He was pushed in the back. Mark Brayshaw playing on half-back flank. His father, of course, a member of the 64 Premiership side as a half-back flanker. Ian. Court's hand pass, not a particularly good one, but it comes to kick it on the bounce. Larry kick it, comes down the grandstand side. Michael Mitchell, fine mark in front.
Not a bad start by Mitchell, Dennis. He's very fired up at the moment, playing very well indeed.
Davidson, tough assignment for Wright, playing his first game on a half-back flank, marking Mitchell at the present time. Here's Derek. On the 50-metre line. A spectacular mark a couple of moments ago. Chips it in short, looking for O'Connell. Beautiful pass, good lead.
Good lead. We've got a lazy piece of football by Bartlett. He had a look and a hope that kick wouldn't go for that pass. And that simply isn't good enough. He's been playing football long enough to do better than that. And kicking was a borderline case to make the distance with a heavy ball. Now, very easy situation for O'Connell.
David O'Connell, centre half forward for the Tigers. Oh, not a good effort. He's pulled it way offline, out of bounds on the full in the left full forward pocket. What about the policy of marking Mitchell with Wright?
Yes, big job, as you said, Dennis. So far hasn't worked too well, has it?
This is Allen. Well shepherded by Giannakis. Chris Allen deep in the back pocket. Will kick it only as far as Derek Kickett. He takes a good mark despite the efforts of Wright, who claims he touched the ball. Now Kickett's told to play on. It's a hand pass infield looking for Mitchell. Mitchell's got it, surrounded by Blue Guernseys. Gets the ball across to Golding. Steve Golding, normally a very good kick of the football, too far out to score, sends it down towards full forward. O'Connell is down there, gets hands to the ball too. Trying to crash his way through his hand. Giannakis gets it across towards Morgan, right on the boundary line, Morgan. Scrambles a kick back, but it's more centrally located now. Here's trouble for East Perth as Kickett grabs it, gets it across to Shepherd. Shepherd chips it in short, looking for Begovic. He should have gone back. Now he's got the ball on the burst. Begovic confronted by Papato. Shocking effort. He kicks it straight to Wright. It was barely 10 metres as Wright goes towards the outer side. Well played by Brayshaw as he gets a fist in there and knocks it away from Williams. I like the looks of Brayshaw.
A little bit short up forward, aren't they, Claremont? They've been finessing a little bit too much in that 50-metre, within the 50-metre circle, and causing themselves a lot of problems.
Goal apiece off hands. Begovic takes it. Comes down towards full forward. Bartlett, an awkward one for him. Goes again with a lot of courage. McCormack, the ruck rover, goes out wide. East Perth have got the numbers out there, and Dennis takes the mark. Both sides being very indirect at the moment. Papato with the run of the ball around the outer side. He's confronted by Beers. Good tackle late on too. Ball spills out of bounds and we'll have a throw in.
It's a very long way home, Dennis, when you've got heavy conditions. The ball is not travelling as far with the kicks, and if you're going to persist in the outer playing the wings, it's an awful long way to go.
Well, wet day is kick the ball time, isn't it?
I would think so. Not so far, though, on either side.
It's just a game of distance. You've got to make the meterage. This is Malaxis. Goes short. Begovic, the ball will bounce out of bounds, and that's characteristic of the game so far.
Well, that's right. Now, Malaxis just between wing and centre, and that ball goes out of play on the half-forward flank. In distance, he's probably further away from the goals. You have to be absolutely certain of your passes to make that sort of thing worthwhile, and even then it's doubtful value.
Cocker thumps it out, taken by Cam Shepherd. Drives it back towards half forward. Derek Kickett, magnificent mark. Superb mark over the top of Morgan. He's alight today, and this could spell trouble for his Perth.
Well, not even 10 minutes into the quarter, he's taken two of the best grabs you're likely to see in a long, long while. He's probably up to about 5 or 6 kicks. Fourth kick coming up.
Derek Kickett kicks a goal for the Tigers. Their second. Claremont with it 2-1. And I'm sure coming off last weekend's game that Graham Moss has had something to say to Derek Kickett. And he seems very much in this game. Watch this mark. Eyes on the ball. That is spectacular with the nature of the greasy ball.
Yes, perhaps not quite as spectacular as the one he took a moment ago. Poor old Morgan. There's not a lot he could have done about that situation. David Morgan, kicking on his day. Geez, very, very hard to contain.
Play restarts. One out by Starcevic to Ruder Woods half forward. Otway comes out and takes the mark on his chest. No one in the square. He senses that Otway. He's going for home. Long kick. Can they get back in time? No, they can't. Goal to his Perth. Scores are tied. It's 2 apiece.
Good football by Otway, and again, his importance or his ability to play well is very, very important to his Perth. That's the mark being taken. And this is where he uses a little bit of common sense. Walks around the man of the mark easily, sprints his 10 to 12 metres, and a beautifully weighted kick from just inside the 50-metre circle, and that was far more direct than the reward is on the board. It's very, very simple.
Well, he sensed there was no one in the square, didn't he? They were all running back.
His initial thought was to go for a short pass. I think he fooled a lot of people.
Caught, posed to Starcevic, who wins it, taken by Christian, who almost stopped there thinking he was pushed in the back. I think he was right.
Because they thought he'd mark that. It was a hand pass.
Short memory. By Bucky. He's going to bounce it. The players quite keyed up in there, as you can see. Doesn't Begovic look like Greg Brio? Just away to the right there.
No.
Knocked out. Kickett with a chance. Davidson skirting the pack. Kickett's going to get a free kick.
That was a stupid free kick. Dennis Kickett was out of that play. The ball had gone away from him. He's more or less just cantering along, and absolutely no purpose in pushing him in the back.
This would be his 4th or 5th kick already, Derek Kickett. Bad one. Scott takes the mark. Campbell didn't read that all that well. That was the reference to the bad one. He seemed to buy the dummy, and Scott was able to drift to his left-hand side and take the mark.
Well, that can be traced back to that totally unnecessary free kick paid to Kickett. Oh, gee, he just did enough, I feel, to be paid that mark. I guess allowances may have been made for the conditions.
John Scott against his old side, 40 metres out. Accuracy hasn't been with him in recent weeks. Scotty is not behind.
The two bad misses won by himself just then, and O'Connell was even closer and straighter. So two that you would normally expect them to get, but once again allowances have to be made, I guess.
Campbell chips it out wide. Starcevic will need to gather this ball. The big fellow's got a job to do out there. They battle lack of support for Starcevic. Good tackle laid on by Court. Giannakis got the hand pass eventually. Kicks it only as far as Malaxis, who centres the ball, and Hand should mark. Hand is 55 metres out from goal. Feeds Golding. Will put this one to the square if he so desires. No, he goes short. The mark is taken by Campbell. No one on the end of it really for Golding. It was ambitious. Campbell off the defensive 25-metre line comes grandstand side, and Hand takes a mark, and then was pushed rather solidly by Christian. And now Christian and Beers go to ground. Beers called it a quit pretty early on.
He reaches his disapproval and thought that's enough.
Hand gets 15 metres and comes inside scoring range.
Well, it's lack of discipline like that can frustrate a young side. Well, East Perth's not such a young side, I suppose, no more than a few others, but it's just poor discipline.
And whoa! Up by O'Connell from behind. Recovers pretty well too as he goes hunting after that ball. Dentino Santi is tackled. Spills to Begovic. Begovic tries to get it to O'Connell. O'Connell through his legs. That the ball is right of East Perth now. Goes looking for Giannakis and or Bartlett. It's the latter who picks it up on the outer side. Kicks it around that outer side. McCormick does brilliantly. Knocks the ball into the path of Allen, who gets it to Danaru. Across to Papato. Great football in the conditions, East Perth. Long searching kick into attack. Out comes Miles. Clever deflection. Cut it across to Brayshaw. Brayshaw to Morton. Quick rebound play now by the Tigers. Fisted out by Wing. Chance roving the back for Davidson. Davidson a high up and under. Danawood's full forward. Up was O'Connell. Fisted away by Bartlett. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell pulls it back well. Danawood Scott. Eludes in his marksman Campbell and bounces through for a behind. Some good football there.
Yes, and then I'd be a little bit worried if I was in East Perth. Campbell to me appears very, very uncertain. Okay, Scott hasn't kicked the goal yet, but I don't think it's any credit to Campbell for that.
Well, Campbell didn't really kick that one in too well. Wing was yards in the clear on the outer side. And metres, he's got the ball now and kicks towards half-back. Knocked away there by Davidson. Well played. Crashing into the pack was Malaxis. Golding over the ball, knocks it out to accommodate the run of Beers. Beers swings it down towards the pocket yet again. Wing takes a very good mark.
It's a great mark. It is given the conditions. That's 3 rippers so far.
As the name implied, he flew. Kick back towards centre field. Kelly is over it. Deflects it across to Papato. Papato towards half-court. Williams takes a slider. Williams was off. The umpire indicated. Williams goes after it. Bad luck for his Perth there as Otway spins into the pack. Malaxis shows courage too. The umpire decides to reward no one there. That's the right decision. He's going to bounce it. Players at both sides committing very solidly in that exchange. Caught from behind. Knocks it away. Upended was Cam Shepherd. Malaxis brilliantly. Panizza breaks away from the congestion. Runs towards half forward. Long kick into the forward line. Scott dropping back. And Sarich was talking about that.
Just doesn't fill me with any hope whatsoever for these Perth people. Campbell has been totally uncertain in his movements on that occasion. Plenty of time with the ball in the air. Misjudged it completely. Scott was able to take the mark from behind easily, and Campbell so far only had time to turn around and run back.
Let's see what he can do. John Scott. Just snuck that one through. He has. Looks a little uncertain when he's kicking a goal to Scotty. Still, Claremont stretch their lead. They lead by 8 points, 3-2 to 2 straight goals.
Yes, I don't know how many games Campbell's now. He's played a few in defence, hasn't he? Centre half back, I think, earlier on. I haven't seen him myself, but
last week he was at full back.
Very questionable, I think. But still, I suppose you've got to try things when you've down the bottom of the table and only won a couple of games. Things have to be done. He's been playing a lot of his football, most of his football at centre half forward. And apart from a very promising start to his career, Campbell has not really kicked on. So I suppose it's fair enough to give him the opportunity to play in a key defensive position. But so far in this game, anyway, he hasn't impressed me.
Bounce back in the centre from umpire Vernon this time. Run out by Court. Trying to crash his way through his hand. This is Kickett. Knocked away from him. Morgan goes after the ball. Is taken high and he'll get the free kick. David Morgan on his own half-back line. Kicks it out wide and the mark is taken by Dennis. Feeds it across to Starcevic, who's a real athlete. He drives it down towards the pocket. Going back is Williams with a lot of courage. Coming over the top was Miles. Williams is down and hurt. The ball goes out of bounds.
Gee, one behind him, one coming straight at him, but that did take a lot of courage for the young player to make some sort of a commitment. In fact, he made a total commitment to that. Maybe wise if he hadn't have.
Rocked to his socks. And as a result, his boot came off. Watch this. Back he goes. And there's our mate. Boom.
Miles, gee, he can jump, can't he?
He certainly can. Ball in centre field. Waiting behind a chance for Morgan. Claimed by Kickett. Ball spills wide. Mitchell's got the run of it now. Still it's Mitchell and White. Picked up by Panizza. No support. Over the top comes the hand pass. White will be first back. And Mitchell did pretty well to dispose of the Shepherd and Morgan. Will have a boundary throw in.
Morgan did somewhat gingerly. It was a pretty fierce tackle by Mitchell, wasn't it? Trying to get around the Shepherd.
Having a tough day of it, isn't he? Really, he's marking Kickett out there, and that time Mitchell getting involved with him. Otway with a lot of courage gets it across to Wright. Clever hand pass finds McCormick to Starcevic, and Starcevic breaks away from half back. Kicks long towards half forward. At the fall of the ball is caught. Breaks to thump it away. Daru tries to thump it back. Morton won't make any concessions. He does well, but Dennis, equal to the occasion, tries to go through the pack. Trying to backhand it on was Christian. Malaxis finishes up with the ball. Court's got it now. Court drives it down towards the half-forward line. In best position to mark his wing, and he does that. Tried to play on foolishly. Bartlett's got the ball. They've got a number. They might get out of this. It comes back to wing. Now he's in trouble. Still East Perth with the numbers. Kelly. Knocked away by Panizza. They're going to pay the ultimate price eventually here, one figures. Picked up by Panizza. He scrambles it forward. Campbell did well. Got it down to Giannakis, who appear to be taken high. The ball spills out of the pack. Right. Met solidly by Golding. Brilliant pickup by Begovic. He pulls it back across the goal face. Campbell is there. Gathers the ball nicely. Gets the hand pass and lays it off to Giannakis. Giannakis out of the back pocket. No quarter given in that exchange. On the outer side, the contest. Leading back is Morton. Almost held without it, Morton, but he breaks away brilliantly. Chips it in short, taken by Golding. He could almost score from here. He's 50 metres out. The angle is acute. He kicks it to the goal square. O'Connell from behind, almost the mark. Kick it, nowhere to go. And the ball is forced through for a behind.
Well, you have to give both sides an awful lot of credit for that tackling. It's been rather fierce. In fact, quite a spectacular game in its way so far in the wet conditions.
Wing kicks to the outer side. Court goes over his marksman out there.
It's interesting.
Ball must have been touched in that exchange and skids out of bounds.
I think where that could have happened. Actually, he kicked it to himself kicking out. I think it goes right back to the beginning.
Derek
My
kick it
memory
there.
certainly will.
Marduk splattered. Court flicks it back into the pack through the legs of Begovic. As it turns out, there wasn't bad luck for Claremont. Hand passes forward. Campbell is coming through. He's confronted by Begovic. Manages to get a kick in. Hugging the boundary. Starcevic, can he take the mark in the field of play? No, he can't. Out of bounds on the full. And the resultant free kick will be taken by Davidson out there. Davidson centres the ball. Scott sandwiched between two East Perth defenders. Taken by Campbell. That was clever. Campbell boots it almost directly across the ground, and this is the strategy of East Perth at the present time. And a good mark is taken by Davidson.
Well, they must feel they've got control of the outer wing because it's almost automatic that a player in defence will head straight to that far side of the ground. I wouldn't agree that they've got dominance over there by any stretch of the imagination, but that's the method.
When you see Davidson and Golding out there, from what we've seen this year, Scott takes a brilliant mark as the ball came in.
How well could Campbell have doing that exchange, Dennis, because I was pretty keen to see how he does perform at centre half back. I certainly don't want to labour the point. I just fullback rather, yeah. And Campbell on that occasion, if we pick it up later on, was just standing flat-footed watching the proceedings. I suppose maybe a little bit of method in that. If the ball had come through, slippery ball had come through, he was waiting for it, but I don't think that's his role.
John Scott kicking at his second goal. And what's he done with this one? Well, he's getting enough opportunities down there, and accuracy is coming back to Scott. Claremont lead 4-3. East Perth at 2 goals.
Well, even in the damp conditions, I suppose class usually tells a story. And so it will be again today, I think, as Claremont gradually asserting their superiority. The midfield players, Penizza, Alexis again, Davidson also really in the action. Mitchell, brilliant start to the game. And East Perth simply haven't got the answers. I didn't say they probably handle the ball as much as Claremont, but certainly not with the same positive thought at their disposal, and they're going to pay the price.
Mind you, that breeze seems to be freshening, if anything, down towards the end of which Claremont are going. This is Malaxis. He's over the ball and scrambles out of the pack. Davidson and Mitchell. Mitchell, a hand pass to Golding. He was well shepherded by umpire Bucky. Golding on his left foot pulls it back. Not enough. Goes through behind.
Well, no fault of East Perth there, Dennis. That was just brilliant football by some very, very talented, 2 or 3 of the best players in the Claremont side shared in that exchange, and not a thing East Perth could do about that.
Starcevic offers a very good lead.
Playing well, isn't he?
Yes. Kick in from wing was a good one. Starcevic wasting no time. Kicks it high towards Christian. Couldn't take the mark. In close attendance is Beers. To Malaxis. Malaxis, wobbly kick towards half forward. Starcevic going back with courage. Couldn't take the mark. Coming through is Bartlett. This is Wing. Wing from half back, chips in short, and Christian takes a good mark, hitting his body behind the line of the ball. Christian, with a man free on the grandstand side, that was Kelly. He ignored that and went right across the ground and found Papato. Papato, right centre wing, hugging that side of the ground. High kick towards half forward, almost the mark taken out there by Dennis. Waiting behind is Shepherd, gets it across to Mitchell. He's enjoying this game. Court is free, that's the direction the kick takes. Too much carry. Coming up to meet Court is Morgan, and Morgan showed a lot of courage. Morgan with a lead, chips it in short. Starcevic and/or Blakely. In fact, it was Kelly. Waiting behind, a chance for Mitchell. Mitchell does well as he gives it to Morton. Morton goes short and finds Penizza. Penizza thinks about a hand pass. Now goes the short pass across towards Court. Court gathers the ball. Kicks down towards half forward. Heavy collision with Morgan and Court as Court released the ball. Coming through is Bartlett. East Perth's defence standing up reasonably well now as Allen comes away. Touches it down once. A couple of rather weak shepherds. Scott almost got through and tackled Allen as the ball is on the outer side. Dennis coming through. Brilliant tackle. The ball jarred out. Taken by Chris Allen. Allen outside 50 metres. Very indecisive. Goes in short and finds Kelly. Well played.
In the finish, he certainly had his moments of confusion out there, didn't he, Chris Allen? He probably thought he's too far out to score. Didn't really want to have a shot for goal. Was waiting for something to happen. Oh, gee, this is slack, isn't it?
Short.
Short. Effective, I suppose. That was a fairly clear lead, and Kicker, I think, was a little bit surprised that the lead was, or the pass went to the lead. He was quite happy to lead down up the ground. Breaking down a little bit up forward, aren't they, East Perth? The defence certainly is holding up pretty well under pressure. It's coming from midfield in droves of the Claremont's players, but up forward, East Perth got their own problems.
Michael Christian It's a question of accuracy. He's kicking from about 40 metres. He hasn't got the accuracy. He misses to the left-hand side. So first behind registered by East Perth. They're 2-1, trailing Claremont 4-4. We've played 25 minutes of the opening term. There's an indication of the breeze, not all that strong as the short one comes into Golding. Deep in the back pocket, Steve Golding comes along the grandstand side with a very intelligent kick, laying the ball into the path of Panizza. Panizza cleverly knocks it on to Kickett, showed a lot of courage to Panizza. Derek Kickett gives it back to Panizza. Not a good hand pass. It could go back to Kickett. Well, it should have gone by hand. He elected to kick it. Kickett took the mark. It comes to Mitchell. Mitchell back to Kickett. That's what he does. He's kicked it.
Who kicked it? Well, mind you, very fanciful in the finish, but gee, they messed around with that. Begins here with Panizza with about a 7-metre pass to Kickett. I think Dennis told the story, no need to repeat that, but I think Claremont just too much class. They really are over finessing up in front, aren't they? I mean, in fact, Kickett, I do believe one of his biggest faults is that he tries to make things look too pretty, look too good. Instead of once he gets clean possession doing something positive, he's trying to really show the crowd what a brilliant ball handler he is, and he's overdoing it terribly at times.
5-4 to 2-1. McCormick gets the ball across to Daru. Daru kicks as he slung. Kickett.
Not again.
Towards half forward, taken by Allen. Allen towards half forward. That's East Perth's half forward line. And Dennis shows a lot of courage, drifting across the face of the pack, but the finish is poor. And Miles gets back to take the mark in the pocket. Almost gives you the impression he doesn't like taking those chest marks, Miles. Much prefers to jump.
Well, if you could jump that high, yes, you wouldn't mind.
Great.
Spring heel, all right.
Miles out of defence. That's a big kick back towards centre field. Cocker gets a fist in there. Blakely got it, wishes he hadn't. Papato gives it across towards Christian. Christian to Otway. Otway cleverly across to Papato. Papato back to Christian. Whoops. Christian tried to steer out the Claremont defender. The kick comes down towards full forward. Williams on the left foot puts it through. Goal to East Perth. They're third. 3-1, trailing Claremont 5-4.
A lot of players had a hand in that before it finally went through the big opening. Christian there was the first player decided it's worth kicking. Beautifully picked up that by the umpire Williams, and I would say, Dennis, that having watched the East Perth player most, very, very poor performance against West Perth a few weeks ago, you'd have to say that the spirit or the endeavour today is far greater. I would say that anyway. In fact, I am saying it.
You have to.
Of course you do.
34 to 19. Bounce from umpire Vernon. Cocker goes up. We've played 27 and a half minutes. East Perth desperately need another goal. That would make the term about square, I'd suggest, with the breeze factor favouring the Tigers as Morgan slips as he kicks towards half forward, but it didn't matter. He finds Blakely out there. Blakely going to that side of the ground now. He's played most of the quarter on the grandstand side. Most of the play has been on the outer side. Miles again getting some jumping experience as he knocks it forward, taken by Davidson. Davidson boots towards half forward. White fists away. Well played. McCormick's got the run of it now. Otway is breaking for him. He sees Otway, but he's got time. He'll kick it past that player. Down towards full forward goes the kick. Starcevich was up and couldn't mark. As a result, Mitchell will break away for Claremont. Feeds the ball across to Beers. Beers drives it out of defence towards half forward. Kickett goes up and takes in another spectacular mark. Derek Kickett gets it across towards Panizza, and Panizza spears the ball into Scott.
Well, that's dry where the football is very, very best. In damp, slippery conditions, it's absolutely out of this world. And what a magician Kickett really is. Again, Morgan, no hope whatsoever.
John Scott steers through another goal, manufactured by Derek Kickett. Claremont is 6-4, and they lead East Perth 3-1.
It's Kickett's sixth kick for the quarter. And then the ball comes out wide, and this is where the magical skills of Kickett again come into play. Up and over, beautifully controlled, always ready to look for somebody coming past. On that occasion, Panizza was the player. Panizza fired in a beautiful pass to finish things off, and Scott finished it off himself for his third goal.
40 plays 19. Cocker is up to win it out for East Perth. Papato goes down towards the forward pocket. Beautiful pass, and the mark is taken by Starcevich.
Papato, within 40 metres, he uses the ball superbly at times.
East Perth lead a goal. Starcevich goes long down towards the square. Can Dennis take the mark down there? We couldn't. Otway needs a snapshot. Otway surrounded, dragged off the ball, forced towards the boundary line by the Claremont defence. It's out of bounds. So East Perth with a fleeting opportunity there, but it was snuffed out quickly by quick defensive work.
Probably one turn too many. I thought he had a chance from about 5 or 6 metres to touch it onto his left foot. That's all it needed.
Boundary throw in, Court goes up, Starcevic was there with him, Otway out of the pack, desperation by Brayshaw, all to no avail. Christian picks it up and kicks a goal from 15 metres. East Perth 4th on the siren. They're 4-1, Claremont 6-4. What a spectacular quarter. Oh. Given Derek Kickett. Yes. BD. I have some highlights here for you, BD. Start the second quarter here at Subiaco Oval. And it's 15 points Claremont's way. Bounce from umpire Bucky. Up goes Cocker and thumps the ball down towards the East Perth half-forward line. This is Begovic, who's deep in his own defensive area to start the term. He swings it out wide. Panissa's in front. Reaching over the top was Kelly. Panissa the better recovery. He's better position for it too as he's pushed off the kick. It was good defensive work out there. East Perth have got the run of it. This is Richard Dennis. Draws a man, goes over the top. The hand pass was a shocker. Beers was held without it. He'll take the free kick. Beers playing at centre half back. Feeds a hand pass to Panissa, who drives around the outer side. Cocker goes up and takes the uncontested mark out there. Shane Cocker chips in short. Richard Dennis takes the mark. East Perth's football not very direct. That's a better effort. Long kick into the forward line. Starcevic has it fisted away. Papoto towards a vacant goal square. Where will it bounce? Well, it goes right across the face and bounces out of bounds.
That kick of Panissa's, Dennis, was his 9th, and not a bad start to the 150th that Darryl presented Panissa.
It's Peter Davidson. As we have this boundary throw in. Court wins it wide in the Davidson direction. Otway goes back after it with a lot of courage. Kickett's pushed in the back. He'll take the free kick. Larry Kickett, deep in the back pocket, his namesake and cousin, was a star in the first quarter with 3 spectacular marks. Morton wastes the ball towards the outer side. Mitchell's got it now. And that's an untidy kick. Not characteristic of the man. He puts it out of bounds on the full. Michael Mitchell. Lance Kelly kicking it back into the forward line. 1-out contest. Knocked away by Court. Taken by Blakely. On his natural side, he pulls it back. Dennis deep in the pocket, could have almost been pushed in the back. Ball spills off his chest and will have a boundary throw in. So a vital time in this game. 6-4 to 4-1, approaching 2 minutes in the second term. Boundary throw in. Starcevic is up in front, flicks it backward at the back for Poto. East Perth needs some goals. Beers over the ball, working hard in there also is White. He's on the forward line for the moment, and the umpire's going to bounce it again. Bounce down 30 metres out from East Perth's attacking goal. Won by Court down towards Begovic. Moving in was Otway. Left the ball low. Picked up by Morton. A high kick out towards half-back. Golding works his way to the front, but Cocker did well. Tries to push his way through the pack and eventually succeeds in getting the ball to Otway, who boots it down towards full forward. Miles gets out. But characteristic spring, though, he couldn't take the mark on that occasion. Kickett knocks it across to support, gathered by Brayshaw deep in the pocket. Brayshaw, not a particularly good kick around the outer side. Malaxis is in there. He's outnumbered. He's doing it well as Steve Malaxis, forcing the ball towards the outer side wing. In front is Cocker, the big fellow battling with a more agile Malaxis. Well played, Cocker. He's still over the ball out there. No luck for him. Bartlett goes tumbling after it eventually, and the ball spills out of bounds. But Shane Cocker, as we saw a fortnight ago in the game against West Perth, has got a very willing heart.
Yes, and a fair amount of agility and pace, actually, for a player of his size.
O'Connell comes over the top and wins it down brilliantly to Golding, who kicks it towards half-forward, hands in front, almost the mark. Giannakis puts his body in well. Giannakis is over the ball, hand is over him. And the umpire decides that he'll move in and bounce it down. That's umpire Vernon. Murky and overcast, but no rain for the last 45 minutes or so. Cocker again on his knees, trying to get it out of there. Otway on the ball. What a crazy decision that was to retire. There's plenty of good football left in Wayne Otway. Showing that this afternoon. He, like Cocker, very willing in his exchanges on the outer side. But Michael Mitchell, his opposite number, is a brilliant player. But Otway again, look at him go out there. But eventually Mitchell is going to get a free kick. And I suppose in many respects that exemplifies the difference between the two of them. Just a little more finesse for Mitchell. Maybe be less wear and tear over the years. Sockering off the ground, Golding. Here's trouble. Derek Kickett feeds the ball across towards Shepherd. Shepherd gives it to Malaxis. Malaxis gives it back to Kickett. Kickett's inside 50. He's already got a couple of goals and he chips it in short. That was rather indecisive. He finds Davidson. I don't know that was his intention.
I don't think he would have even known Davidson was there, and yet it appeared as though it was a pass. It was a cunning little effort if it was an intention, because Davidson was surrounded by East Perth players and as a result should kick a goal.
Davidson directly in front, puts it through. Claremont get their 7th, they're 7-4, East Perth are 4-1.
Well, might get a better insight into it here as Malaxis weaves and balks. Out to kick it on the 50-metre line. Now he goes around his left foot and did have a quick look. That's marvellous skills, Dennis, because have a look at Davidson. He had to wait that kick to perfection to pick his teammate out, which he did. We'll have to give him credit for that. But he did have that quick look, didn't he? And that was the key to the whole thing.
Centimetre perfect it was, wasn't it?
Yep.
46-25, 5 minutes played, second term. Testing time for the Royals now as the Tigers try and work it out again. Han is penalised for holding it. And Daru, who's been pretty quiet, wants the ball, as you can see. Otway runs through the centre. Kicks long into the forward line. Starcevic is the target down there. Fisted away by Miles. This is Cocker. Whoops. Confronted by a whole heap of Claremont players. The entire side was coming at him. Still a scramble. Beers is over the ball. That's almost holding it in there. Kelly coming through. More of the same. Kelly. Malaxis says thank you. Gives it across to Panizza. He breaks away from half back. Kicks towards half forward. O'Connell thought he was pushed in the back. Fisted away by Bartlett. Well, one wonders what you can do, a player like Miles, what you can do against him. Down at full forward, it's almost hopeless to put a big fellow down there on him and try and outmark him because he just stays off them and springs over the top of them.
Well, keep the ball low, Dennis, because he loves springing, and the odds are he'll jump over it.
Yeah.
In fact, it's actually that's not as silly as it sounds, perhaps, because he has missed a couple of marks today where he's leapt for the ball which he could have comfortably taken on his chest, and he ended up trying to take it around his knees somewhere.
Begovic knocks it on around the outer side. Still a scramble after it out there, and it's going to be an East Perth free. It'll be taken by Giannakis. Giannakis on the half-back flank at the 6.5-minute mark. Through the hands of Cocker, but make no mistake, he'll go back after it. He's battling with Malaxis. Tries a good tackle from ground level, and the ball spills out of bounds. We'll have a throw. And well played again by the big fellow. You can't expect him, he should have taken the mark initially, but you can't expect him really to do what he did against Malaxis.
No, he put Malaxis under pressure, didn't he, and at least nullified him after making that mistake himself.
Well, he battles again, and again he comes away with the ball as he forces it across towards Wright. Wright tosses it out of the pack. Dennis tries to go through the pack. He's confronted by Cam Shepherd, and we're going to have a bounce.
Spectacular first quarter, Dennis, but it's fallen away a lot of milling packs, which was something I've feared as soon as it rained a bit, but first quarter showed they can play football.
Morton goes after it. Someone was holding somebody. Apparently it was Blakely holding Morton. Blakely can't believe that. And Morton will take the free kick. Morton out of defence towards centre wing. O'Connell comes from behind. This is Bartlett crashing his way through to Cocker, confronted by Malaxis. Hands got it, gives it across to Shepherd. Shepherd towards half forward. Clever mark Michael Mitchell. He was off though before he controlled the ball. And he's a bit lucky to get a free kick in all of that. Trains a hand pass. Now he's away. Deep into attack. In front is Campbell. From behind is knocked away by Scott. Brilliantly picked up by Kickett. And Kickett snaps a goal. Magic, his third. Claremont are 8-4, East Perth at 4-1.
Well, I'd hate to play on him, I can say that. He's got everything. As Mitchell breaks away, and so does he too. Beautifully weighted kick up toward full forward. And this is where Campbell should have taken a mark. He got two hands clearly to the ball, but no, and Kickett certainly doesn't make mistakes. His ball handling is quite superb. And again, he's got time to have a quick look and use the ball to perfection.
Back in the centre with the action, and the Tigers bring it away again as Cam Shepherd boots it down towards the half-forward line, and the mark is taken there by McCormack, drifting back. McCormack boots across towards half-forward. Here's Wright. Wright comes away. Davidson, I think, is down. He appears to be hurt. Over the ball is Allen. Knocks it out of the pack. Daru tries to get it across to support from Wright. He's surrounded. Took a long time. Tino Santi knocks it out of the pack. It's picked up there by Shepherd. Gets it across towards Malaxis. Scrambles the kick out of the pack. Up goes Kickett, knocked away by Wing. A chance there for O'Connell. He's carried forward in the tackle, and he's going to get the free kick.
Drew is going crook, but I think it was either holding the man or in the back, whatever you like. He certainly didn't have possession of the ball. And I think quite rightly, whoops, we might get a look at it. We do. Certainly dragged forward the ball, obviously ahead of him. Don't think so?
Pretty soft free kick. Here's O'Connell. 50 metres out, David O'Connell. Long down towards full forward. It'll be Scott, almost a clever mark, but he interfered with the East Perth player. And a free kick will be taken by Bartlett. Gives it to Morgan, who sold himself right into trouble calling for that ball. This is Giannakis. Away he comes. Giannakis out of the back pocket to Papato. East Perth needs some goals as Papato kicks along the grandstand side and Kelly takes it. East Perth 4-1, trailing Claremont 8-4, approaching the 10-minute mark of the term. Christian takes the mark. Now, the ploy has been to kick it high down towards full forward. That's better as Blakely leads off his man. It's knocked away though by Brayshaw, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Mark Blakely not too happy about that. So 10 minutes gone, and we have a boundary throw in. About 60 metres out from East Perth's attacking goal under grey skies. 52 plays 25, and East Perth needs some goals prior to half-time. Court hooks it backward of the pack. Blakely's got it now. Well tackled by Brayshaw. Dennis has got the run of it. He's been a hard trier on the forward line, taken around the neck. And that was almost an afterthought by umpire Bucky. Unsure he'd blown the whistle and was going to bounce it. The tackle then slipped up a little bit, and fair enough, I suppose. In short to Allen comes the kick from Dennis. Apollo drifting outside him, but the angle would be very acute if Allen elected to short pass to Papato, so he's going goalward from 40 metres out. There's Miles and Cocker down in the square. Chris Allen needs to kick one for the Royals. Not a bad sort of an effort either, just sliding across the face of behind when they desperately need a goal. 4-2 to 8-4.
Pretty busy as Chris Allen. I think he got something like 5 or 6 kicks in the first quarter. But it's a kick he should have converted, really.
Miles, grandstand side. Knocked forward by Starcevic. Over the ball is Begovic. Knocks it out. Taken by Brayshaw. Cleverly across to Court. Court drives towards half forward. In front is Morgan. Morgan goes after the ball. Is looking for Papato. Too much carry on it. Right, a good side bump on Davidson. Comes to Han. Han gets it across to Tino Santi. He breaks out of the centre, kicks to a nest of East Perth players. Bartlett drops it, swooping on a Derek Kickett, gives it to Han. Han sees a man loose. He kicks it across in the direction of David O'Connell, but Wing takes a fine mark. Wing. There's a Claremont player down. I think that's Scott. His Wing boots it back towards the centre wing, taken by Christian. The ball held to him. Umpire Vernon to bounce it. Han goes looking for Scott, and Wing takes the mark, and now puts Scott down, as you can see. It appeared to be an elbow. This is Williams, meantime, back with the ball, game livening up. Dennis is over it. Begovic goes in after him. Dennis trying to hand pass through some legs. Not much success. Umpire Bucky calls for it. The crowd getting involved.
Yes, umpire Bucky's not all that popular with the crowd at the moment.
8-4 Claremont, 4-2 East Perth, 12.5 minutes gone, second term. East Perth realised this game could be slipping away. Davidson, too quick for Malaxis. He goes to ground. Otway sockers it towards the half-forward line. Mitchell brilliantly. Tino Santi kicks towards centre field. Panizza is surrounded. Now a chance for East Perth. Giannakis picks it up. It needs a long kick to Blakely. That's the direction it takes. Blakely going towards the outer side. Brilliant use of the body by Morton. He's a good footballer as Noel Morton. He chips it in short and finds Panizza. Right at the right moment, that side bump, and Blakely was out of business. Darryl Panizza playing his 150th game. Boots towards the centre of the ground. From behind, O'Connell spoiled effectively. Breaking away now to Rue. Long kick down towards full forward. Miles gets back and takes the mark. That was right, he put that ball in. Miles took a good mark and gives it to Kickett. That's Larry. Out of the back pocket he comes and finds Han. Han with 15 minutes. This is Davidson around the outer side for the Tigers now. In front of the old scoreboard, he kicks towards half forward. O'Connell crashes into the pack. Bartlett played it well. Kicker hasn't got the ball. He's being held. White emerges with it. Across it comes to White. White gives it across in turn then to Wing, and Wing swings it back towards centre wing, where the mark is taken by Davidson. Peter Davidson on the outer side wing, chips in short and finds Golding. Steve Golding, only a good kick of the ball, goes deep down towards the pocket, looking for Scott on a lead, and Scott takes the mark. Scott about 40 metres out from goal on a very acute angle, right on the boundary. 26 points the difference. So far today, Scott has kicked 3. Goes short, looking for hand through his hands. Picking the ball up his wing, gets a hand pass to Morgan right in the goal square. He hand passes to Mitchell, brilliantly tackled by Giannakis. I think the hearts were in the mouths of quite a few East Perth supporters there as Allen comes away. Maybe the damage hasn't been undone yet as Panizza picks it up, and from 50 metres Panizza boots it down towards the square where the mark is taken in front by Campbell. Little Campbell come. Starcevic offering a lead which is close to the boundary yet again. That's the direction the kick takes. Starcevic battles with Davidson. The ball spills out of bounds and will have a throw in. So 15 minutes gone now, second term. Claremont 8-4, lead East Perth 4-2. Nothing much happening, and East Perth needs some goals to get back into it. They've got the advantage of what breeze there is. Backward of the pack, it's taken by Bartlett. And again, Davidson shows courage, but it comes back to Bartlett. Bartlett runs up towards the centre, gets a hand pass to Allen. East Perth on the move as Allen goes into the forward line. Cock is in front, fisted away by Miles. More grist for the mill. It's picked up by Dintino Santi. Boots it back grandstand side, taken by White of East Perth. White down towards the pocket. Blakely's in front of his marker. Morton couldn't take it. Comes on his left side, gets a hand pass across to the big fellow Cocker. Cocker's in real trouble. They came at him from everywhere. Morton tidies up yet again. Miles wants too much time. Run down from behind by Dennis. It comes to Otway. It'll need something spectacular from here. He pulls it back looking for Blakely. And a brilliant mark was taken in defence by Kickett. Kickett gives it to Court. Court feeds it across to Peters. Well played by the Claremont defence there. They showed a lot of resolve. Davidson told to play on, gets it across to Court. Court towards half foot with a high kick. Behind Bartlett, knocked on by O'Connell. Chance for Derek Kickett. Slaps it out, looking for support there from Cam Shepherd. Shepherd's over the ball. That puts it around the corner into the path of O'Connell. Coming to meet him is Campbell with courage. Campbell goes back after Scott now, who's got it for Claremont. Well played by Scott. Not much space in which to manoeuvre. Charged down by Campbell. It comes to Bartlett. Bartlett back along the grandstand wing. And Wing was the player who dropped the mark. It's picked up by Shepherd. And Shepherd will find Begovic. Well, a lot of spirit in that exchange from players of both sides. Not a lot of finesse, and Begovic now a chance to score from only 15 metres out directly in front. Tony Begovic.
She
has missed. Dear. Behind to Claremont, 8-5 to 4-2.
Well, East Perth had their chances, didn't they, up forward, as this is the encounter that leads to the mark by Begovic, all by himself. Couldn't believe it. I don't think how much space he found there, but I thought East Perth should have kicked the goal at the other end, Dennis, but again, no one to finish it off.
Well, Derek McNeil obviously thought so as well. He's bringing Blakely off the ground. He was the man who was central in all of that, and Pios is on. This is Malaxis with the ball, outside 50 metres. Will drive Claremont long towards the square. O'Connell with the run. Up he goes. Fisted away well. Gathered by Mitchell. Mitchell 30 metres out. Snaps a goal for the Tigers. They're ninth. They're 9-5. East Perth 4-2 and in deep trouble.
Yes, I think if East Perth could ill afford to concede the next goal, and certainly that's what's happened as Mitchell gets it. Brilliant little rover, no doubt about that. 25 metres out. Once again, a quick look. And away he goes. Speaking of Pios, a little bit surprised he hasn't been on the ground sooner, Dennis. The times I have seen East Perth play, I've been very, very impressed with him. And I certainly would have him in the 18, no doubt about that. In fact, he should be on the ground for the entire game in my book. Davidson looks a sad and sorry player coming off for East Perth. Bad for Claremont.
Yes, it doesn't look too well as he's replaced by Owens.
It's like a shoulder, perhaps. Injury.
Meanwhile, back in the centre, Chris Allen is held without it surely, and he'll take a free kick. So East Perth have got to get a hurry on. Plenty of activity around the boundary, as you can see. There's Peter Davidson. He doesn't appear to be too well.
That was an interesting one, Dennis. The mark not paid, I can only see was touched off the boot as the Claremont player, his Perth player was playing it for play, I think it was.
Starts pitch opposed to court, comes to Golding, scrambles out of defence. Try as they might, East Perth can't buy a goal at the present time. Cocker overruns it. Panissa scrambles the ball in towards the centre square. O'Connell's got it. Now a chance for Otway. That's ambitious. Brilliant tackle laid on by the man in front, Owens. Panissa in the standing position. He kicks towards half forward. Storming up the ground, the mark is taken by Giannakis, who feeds it across to support from Kelly. Kelly comes to the grandstand side. Allen, lack of talking there as Allen was running on. He's getting a free kick for a high tackle. I don't know if it was that. And the kick comes in directly to Owens. So Owens just on the ground, getting involved quite quickly as he kicks towards half forward. Bartlett is up opposed to O'Connell. Capotto roving the pack. Gets it across towards Morgan.
It's holding the ball.
It was at Pios, and Pios was run down. The ball will come back to Mitchell. I'm sure Pios gladly would have swapped with Morgan. As Mitchell cannoned into him. Mitchell into the forward line. Scott on a lead takes the mark. He appears to have recovered from that heavy knock from wing. And now Scott will kick from about the 50-metre line. Scott with 3 goals to his name. Way off target here. They'll contest in the pocket. The leaper down there was O'Connell. The ball off hands out of bounds in the right full forward pocket. He is quick, Mitchell. He looked very quick there. 9-5 to 4-2. One forward by O'Connell. Han, interesting attempt to kick a goal.
It wasn't.
No.
The remarkable thing was he went in the right direction that he was after.
Morgan chips it in short. Well, they really do go close to the boundary line. Giannakis over the top. Now a chance for some run. This is Pios. Pios on the half-back flank. Feeds the ball inside. Taken by Daru. Daru kicking towards half forward. That's not a bad kick. On a lead down there as Wing has gone to the forward line. Otway has claimed. Didn't have the ball. He was lucky. He meant to have it.
Yeah, exactly. Not the umpire's fault. The Claremont players pulled hands off his chest.
Otway looking for Starcevic. Off hands taken by Williams. A chance at his second. And he's put it through for a goal for the Royals. They needed that one. East Perth 5-2. Trail Claremont 9-6.
Desperately needed. They've done well midfield. There's a kick from Otway from that rather, well, it was a free kick, okay, but a little bit of luck involved there. Starcevic couldn't mark the ball. Well read there by Williams, and once he got possession, he did have that very, very vital peek at the goals before he sent it on its way. And I guess if East Perth could get another 1 or 2, or probably 2 would be handy, wouldn't it, before half-time, or keep Claremont out of it, they'd still be well and truly in this game. Certainly I have been impressed today with their endeavour anyway, if not their skill.
Yes, just breaking down up front.
Yes, nothing up forward. Changing ruckman in the goal square has never worked. I don't think it's not working today. And Christian giving nothing at centre half forward.
Chris Allen in trouble, gets it across to Christian, who boots it inside 50. Missed by Larry. Kick it picked up by Wing. Well, he hand passed it, but he hand passed it pretty hard. It's picked up by Dennis. There was no shepherd on Mitchell at all.
It wasn't the player's fault it got slung either.
Beers comes away, gives it to Malaxis. The offending player on the outer side was Kelly. Let's name names. He should have done a lot more shepherding than he did. Any shepherding would have been more. Picked up by Cocker. Over the top, a chance for Malaxis to Court. Court, the searching hand pass out wide. It's taken by Golding. Golding goes towards half forward. Chris Allen is working hard in this term. Takes the tumbling mark. He's at half back.
He's had 5 kicks in the first quarter too, Dennis. He's played pretty steadily, actually.
McCormack has been a quiet player so far in this game as a ruck rower. Takes the mark opposed to Mitchell. Well, can you penalise the marking player 15 metres? Because he was holding on to Mitchell there. Not a good kick across field. The juggled mark is taken by Cam Shepherd. That was a good mark. Mitchell is calling for the ball. Begovic is on down the ground. Mitchell is tripped by McCormack, and that was the best he could hope for in that situation.
Yeah, I think it was a good effort.
Mark it down as an effective trip.
Start another column there, Binky.
This is Mitchell towards half forward. Up goes O'Connell, reading it brilliantly, kick it, slung off it, taken by Otway. Otway out of defence towards half forward. Morton is down there with Papato. Reading it best behind was Larry Kickett. Brilliant play as he came through the pack. Puts it across the ground looking for Mitchell. Close to the boundary line. Mitchell keeps it in play. Run down brilliantly by Allen. Allen gives it to Paquano. If he can finish with a goal, that would have been something, but he misses. Well, they had a 3-on-1 situation in the pocket. Mitchell was back mulling his misfortune on the boundary, didn't get up.
Oh, he's so thrilled having kept it in, he forgot what it was all about and almost gave a goal away.
Wharton drops the mark, kicks it grandstand side. Shane Cocker, up he goes. Could have almost been awarded interference, I thought. Player grabbed him in midair. Away comes Begovic. Kicks towards centre field. It's fisted away from O'Connell. Roving the pack is Kelly. Showing dash that time, Lance Kelly, and he distributes the ball well too as he finds Otway. Otway gets it across to support. Coming down the ground, East Perth now looking good. As Wright kicks towards half forward. Awkward half volley there for Starcevic. With the run of the ball, Christian into the pack. Williams gets it to Paquano. Paquano across to McCormack. McCormack is 30 metres out. What's he like on his left foot? Yes, he's put it through for a goal.
He missed it.
And McCormack looking quite an awesome sight there, bleeding from a cut above his left eye. Gets a timely goal for East Perth that brings them closer.
And I believe their level of performance has increased in the last 5 or 6 minutes, and there's McCormack getting possession. Just got enough time before Morton smothered the ball too to get on his left foot and threw that one through. And all of a sudden East Perth find themselves just 21 points adrift, and that's a lot better in a low-scoring game than it was 5 minutes ago. And as I say, I think the quality of their football has lifted in the last 5 or 6 minutes. More
back in the centre, one down by Court. Chance for Hand. What they can't afford now, East Perth, is for Claremont to get the next goal. As Hand breaks away towards half forward. Brilliant kick. Well, I thought it was started out in the right direction, but it did a bit in midair, didn't it? It was intended for the man Scott, who was then pushed in the back.
Yeah, I was groaning because I couldn't believe Scott could be given so much latitude so close to goal. And he may yet get his chance. He's got his chance. When he converts it, it's another story. Gee, had some space out there. Pretty awesome pursuit there. And let's watch that free kick. Pretty clear, wasn't it? Quite unnecessary too, when you think about it. Scott was never going to pick it up.
Scott on the boundary, kicking at his fourth. Slides it across the face. Big pack into the air. Campbell is confronted and surrounded. Cocker again battling, gives it to Wright. Wright, the clever hand pass to Otway. Bit impressed with his game too. Otway comes along the grandstand side. In front is Williams. I thought he was pushed and then
yes, he's got it too.
He's going to get a free kick.
Rather like the look of this young fellow, actually.
I was going to say you like my decision-making processes there. We've agreed on a couple.
Well,
half forward, waiting behind. A chance now for East Perth. Twisting and turning out there is Hawkins. Hawkins chips it in short, and the mark is taken by Allen.
Pretty cool play by young Hawkins too. Allen was waiting and he was waiting and he's waiting, and finally Hawkins got himself balanced and had that look and passed the ball. Now this is a very vital kick. This is Chris Allen's 12th kick minutes, which confirms what you've said so far. He's been a busy player. They've got 5 kicks in the first quarter, and he's we'll have 7. I'm sure he's going to kick it.
He missed from a similar situation a few moments ago. He missed to the left. This time he hasn't got the distance. Starcevic through his hands and goes through for a behind him. Craig Starcevic is a player of immense promise, but he doesn't quite look convincing when he goes for the high ball, does he, at this stage?
No, early days in his career, a big player like that's going to take time to develop, but he's got enormous potential.
Morton, short, clever mark is taken by Panizza. Panizza from half back, the high kick towards centre wing. Begovic comes down, almost the chest mark, bounces off his chest and goes out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in. Throw in, right half forward for East Perth. Wouldn't they love a goal? Before half-time, we've played 27 and a half minutes. This is McCormack, surrounded. Otway cleverly over the ball, pumped out of there by Court, only as far as Hawkins. Back into attack it comes. Cocker is down there. There's the siren for half-time.
Very hard in the latter part of the second quarter to reduce the leeway to 21 points, or 20 points in fact. And
with the assistance of the breeze in this term. Cocker goes up opposed to O'Connell, picked up by Malaxis, reasonably quiet in the first half. Boots towards half forward, knocked on by Shepherd. Storming around the outer side there is Begovic for Claremont, sockering towards the boundary line, picked up by Morgan. Still he goes, does Morgan, back in the direction of White. Begovic over the ball, knocking it away there was Owens. It spills across the boundary line. We'll have a throw in. So plenty of endeavour for a little return on the outer side. Boundary throw in left half forward for the Tigers. Opening seconds of the third term as Golding kicks out of the congestion down towards the forward pocket. Giannakis and Han. Han hasn't done much work on the ball, almost a permanent forward pocket. It's knocked away by Giannakis, who's been a good player, and we'll have a boundary throw in. There's Han, player of potential for the Tigers. One forward by Court. In front Mitchell. Close attendance right. It's out of bounds. And so often third quarters start this way. Players take a little while to find the tempo again. 9-6 Claremont, 6-4 East Perth. Cocker from behind. Court flicks it behind the pack. Scramble develops. Panizza kicks towards full forward. Scott, good mark.
Too clever with the use of the body. But I again must state that I feel that Campbell is just too easily brushed away as the ball comes in high. Scott just using the left arm there nicely, and finally Campbell concedes altogether, and no choice of his, of course. Scott kicks his fourth.
4 goals to John Scott. As we said earlier, accuracy has been a problem for him in recent weeks, but today generally he's been on target. A couple of early misses, but more recently he's finding range and direction. 10-6 Claremont, 6-4 East Perth.
Well, from the competitive point of view, I suppose East Perth could afford to concede that goal. They worked so very, very hard in the latter part of the second quarter to reduce the leeway to 21 points, or 20 points in fact. And they certainly wanted the first goal. It makes it very, very hard in a low-scoring game in these conditions to catch up 4 goals inside the class of Claremont.
26 points the difference then. East Perth with a job to do yet again. They had plenty of the ball in the second quarter but couldn't finish. This is Golding, no pressure on, so he has to pursue the ball back towards his own half-back line. Then almost muffed it. It took a deflection off the hands of Williams and came to Dintino Santi. Kick at hand passes. This man Panizza's got it now. Panizza drives along the grandstand wing. Derek Kickett is there. Brilliant mark, Derek Kickett.
He has taken 4 of the best marks you're ever going to see, and given the conditions that makes it even more so. Absolutely fantastic.
Derek Kickett at right half forward.
It was Panizza's 17th kick, incidentally, Dennis. He's at a magnificent 150th so far.
Kickett going for distance, long down towards full forward. That's got plenty of carry on that ball. It just failed by a couple of metres to go through. Falling back, Bartlett got his hands to it. 27 points the margin Claremont's way now. East Perth must do something. As Campbell comes to the grandstand side, Owens is up in front and takes the mark uncontested. So Owens started the season as centre-half forward for the Tigers. Kicks from the 50-metre line right down towards the kick-off line. Scott is down there. Campbell fisting away. It's taken by Otway, who's been tireless. And passes across to Wright, who kicks it towards Panizza and/or Golding. It's the latter who takes the mark. He's too far out to score. Han is calling for the short pass. Golding ignores that, goes deep into the forward line. Pack into the air. Campbell fisting away. Han trying to go through the pack. Left the ball behind. Picked up by Giannakis. Across the goal face to Pios. Pios decides to run it out. Goes to the back pocket. Kicks it back towards centre field. Why, I don't know. David O'Connell goes up. Claremont have got the numbers there. Over the ball to Rue. Knocks it out of the pack. Chance for Begovic. Over the ball, Dintino Santi. Diving on it, Malaxis. Emerging with it, Allen. Brilliant play. Williams stumbles. Tries to flick it across towards Dennis. Working hard against him, Malaxis. And the umpire decides to bounce it down.
Pios didn't have much option, Dennis. The only players fanning out to the outer side of the ground were the logical place to kick it were Claremont players.
Knocked out by O'Connell. Taken by Malaxis. Well, that's fair enough, then, I guess. Here's a battle. Pios fell over. Kickett feeds Mitchell. Brilliant hand pass. Mitchell 30 metres out. Steers through another Claremont goal. And East Perth now in deep, dark trouble.
Well, there's 2 of the very most exciting players, certainly in West Australian football. And I think you could go across another ball and say the same thing, because look at that one grab situation. The perfect hand pass to Kickett. Add to Mitchell. And Mitchell, all the time in the world, he runs up to the 25-metre line and threads it through, and really there's not a lot you can do about that. I mean, East Perth players are getting their hands on the ball as often as the Claremont players. When you get those sort of ball handling skills in the running players, there's just, you can't do much about it. Claremont just too classy.
11-7, 6-4, back in the centre. An effectual ruck play. O'Connell goes back after the ball. On top of him to Rue, and the umpire's going to bounce it down. So it was 20 points at half-time. Claremont have come out and kicked the first 2 goals of this term. And East Perth with a job to do as Brayshaw kicks Claremont towards their half-forward line. Pios leads in the race. Well played. Pios breaks away from Kickett. Gets a good shepherd from right. Kick goes around the outer side of the path of McCormack. McCormack feigns a hand pass, comes onto his left foot. In fact, he kicks with his right and finds Otway. Otway chips very short to Daru. The man who was going after Otway simply ran on and put pressure on the next one in the chain as the kick comes in. Well, Starcevic had dropped back to the square. As a result, Larry Kickett was the extra number for the Tigers. He tidies up, kicks it across to Brayshaw. Over the top comes Dennis, and he takes a good mark for the Royals. Man is on in the centre, that's McCormack. McCormack running towards half forward, hand passes to Daru. Daru gives it across to Morgan. Morgan is taken high, Eric Sarich groans, free kick goes to Morgan. In fact, McCormack plays on, goes down towards the half forward area, and the mark is taken uncontested down there by David O'Connell, who feeds Larry Kickett. Kickett goes across the goal face looking for Morton. Here's danger as Hawkins arrives and gave a contest. Picked up by Golding though, weight of numbers carries the day. Morton, heavy weather of it down there for Claremont. Eventually it comes to Brayshaw, who scrambles it out of defence, and Mitchell takes the mark on his chest. Mitchell swings it out wide, touch of arrogance in that work, and Cocker, as he's done all day, contests again for East Perth and pumps it out of bounds. Will have a throw in.
Very light-hearted player is the big fellow Shane Cocker there in the screen, and yes, he has done well, but I do believe that Court has probably had the honour in the ruck so far.
Panizza under the hammer, just, yes, but you can't argue that Cocker really does put himself about, doesn't he? On the ground, in the air, he's a willing worker. Sort of player that in his way is inspirational given his limitations. He's not a great player, but my word, he tries hard as Pios boots towards the half forward line. Brilliant balance shown by Beers as he beats Christian pointless and kicks back towards the half forward line. Kickett waiting behind the pack. He's in real trouble, surrounded by four of them, but gets it out to Panizza. Panizza right on the boundary line proceeds to kick it out of bounds on the full. Claremont 11-7, East Perth 6-4, 7.5 minutes play. Ball coming back to Pios. Kick goes across towards centre field. White comes down and does very well, does Wright. Still he goes. Up through the middle. Feeds it back to Daru. Well played. Daru goes towards the pocket. Fine kick. Wing takes the mark. Wing cast in the role of a forward since midway through the opening term.
That's a little bit better, a little bit of run in that play, but good ball control under a bit of pressure there from Wright. And that's the reason Wing is now having a shot from fairly close in, and gee, if ever the side needed a goal, certainly East Perth needed this one.
David Wing misses to the near side. East Perth needed that. 6-5, 11-7. So 8.5 minutes gone. And Wing on the forward line. Hasn't seen much of the ball. Miles kicking in, goes towards the outer side. That was a very good kick as he finds Brayshaw on the run out there.
Pretty lively, hasn't he, Brayshaw?
Yes, he's a likely type, isn't he? As he goes around the outer side, offhands a chance for Begovic now. Can he keep it in play? Yes, he can. But East Perth have got the chance to bring it away over the ball. McCormack. Allen, who's tried very hard for the Royals too, goes to ground, pumps it on. Christian slides like a base runner going into third. Comes across to support from Morgan. Morgan pops it out wide. Back comes Allen. Allen pursuing the ball towards the boundary line. Well played by Chris Allen. Wouldn't give up. He pulls it back towards centre half forward. Papoto, the leap, couldn't take the mark. Chance for Morgan now. He's surrounded. Claimed by Golding. Papoto knocks it out of the pack. Christian knocks it on. Daru under the pump. Still Daru battles. Surrounded by Tigers. Pumps it out. Now a chance for Otway. Still he goes to Otway. It was rather clever as he got it out to Morgan, who was taken high, and he'll get the free kick. And Beers can't believe that, but it seemed quite obvious.
Doesn't that accentuate the difference between, say, a player, a real battle like Otway? He had ample opportunity then to get clean possession running toward goal. As Starcevic, yes, he does get paid the mark. But whereas a Mitchell or a Kicker or somebody would have done just that, Otway paddled the ball and ultimately lost possession. So that one grab situation is so vital.
Short one, intended for Papoto, knocked away by Morton. Morton comes away. Around the outer side goes the kick. Allen waiting for the ball. It was fisted away well by Begovic. Malaxis, haven't seen a lot of him today. Grabs the ball on his own half-back line. Hoists it towards centre wing. Morgan reduced to spoiling tactics from behind. Still a battle after the ball. Owens knocks it across towards Begovic. Begovic squares the ball looking for Derek Kickett. Unkind bounce. As a result, the ball got past him. Picked up now by Williams. Williams breaks away and kicks it out wide looking for Dennis. And Dennis has taken the mark on his chest. Dennis. Left half forward, spears it into Papoto. Can they develop something here? East Perth going across the ground, but a good advantage on that occasion because Allen's got it inside 50. Chris Allen, who hasn't finished well all day, that effort's a shocker. It's been marked in the left full forward pocket by Christian. Now Christian wants to play on, chips it into Otway, the ball will come back. It'll be a quick one too. Well, I think Christian wanted to give it back to Otway again, but the umpire was busy putting him in the first row. Now it comes in and the mark is taken by McCormick. His finishing hasn't been all that flash today either.
That's good. Rather interesting. You're not Otway's calling for the conceded defeat on the initial one. Yeah.
I think he's got it. McCormick puts it through. That would confuse somebody watching their first game of football where the man with the ball was calling for the ball. Claremont 11-7, East Perth is 7-5.
Yes, Otway was quite prepared to concede that Christian had to go around on the mark again, and then he backed back, make another pass, and finally settled for McCormick. And East Perth needed that one very badly. They've always been behind the 8 ball right from the first 20 minutes of the game or so. Get to a certain distance of Claremont, and Claremont slip away again. Let's see what happens in the last 15 minutes or so, or 20 minutes of this quarter.
Approaching the 12-minute mark. 73-47. Hand comes away from the centre. Nice knockdown by O'Connell. Deep into attack comes the kick. Scott is up. Goes after it on the ground, being harassed there by Campbell. Runs into the legs of the man who was bearing down on him. That's Bartlett. And Scott will get the free kick. He certainly earned it. It's always a moot point, isn't it? If a player comes out of a pack head first and someone's coming down on the ball, well, that's...
Well, what can the umpire do, given the rules, I suppose? He had to pay a free kick for a high tackle. It wasn't really a tackle as such anyway. Not a lot that Bartlett could have done about it either, but Scott's going to fire for his 5th goal. That's all he cares about.
Yep.
He's pretty happy about the whole thing.
John Scott, 45-degree angle, has put it through. Then on 12-7, East Perth is 7-5, and we've played 13 minutes in this third quarter.
Yes, and John Scott gives a thumbs up. He's pretty happy. Long while since he's got a bag full, I think. He got a couple early in the season as he gets down over the ball for the shot. It's not a difficult shot for the right footer from outside of the goals. But this will give him a bit of confidence really today. He's kicked 5 and perhaps should have kicked 6 or 7.
Back with umpire Bucky. So East Perth must get the next goal. One down by O'Connell, sharked by Papato towards half forward. Dintino Santi dropping back has taken a mark. Wants to play on, plenty of runners to the outer side. Dintino Santi though goes for distance towards half forward, waiting behind Kickett through the hands of Pios. Kickett gives him a good side bump, still he goes after the ball. He's got it too, and Pios goes in hard on Kickett after the whistle. The umpire will bounce it. Has that remarkable instinct, Derek Kickett, of knowing where the ball is in that situation. A couple of times they're out of position, but still he was the one who emerged with it as O'Connell thumps it forward. This is Richard Dennis who's trying hard, carried forward, he'll take a kick. I liked his game, Eric.
Yes, he hasn't come on quite as well as he should. Gee, that was almost a disaster for about 3 players.
Oh dear, this is Daru. That was all very interesting. It was a hand pass that came across towards Papato that started it all, and Scott was bearing down on him. Meantime, back with the ball as Williams battles. McCormack gives it across towards Morgan. Morgan around the corner, taken by Starcevic. Starcevic does well to get past Dintino Santi. Swings it around towards centre wing. Christian is up and takes a good juggle mark. They came from everywhere. Big collision on the half-forward line there for Claremont. Pios and Kickett, as a result of that, became entangled. They seem to be okay now as the runner's gone out to Pios. Meantime, East Perth work it forward, but only as far as Larry Kickett.
You have to sympathise, just watching Christian desperately waiting for somebody to kick the ball to. Nothing happened, and really no fault of his that the ball was finally marked by Kickett.
Hand's going to get 15 metres. Christian over the mark. So Hand on centre wing. Kicks down towards the half-forward line. Pios and Kickett. Knocked away well by Pios. It's out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Well, Pios has taken that a little bit too far, isn't he, really? A touch of sarcasm attached there. I don't think Derek Kickett will have too many cause for complaint about this game. He's been quite superb.
There's a throw-in. Starcevic wins it down. Taken by Owens. Pios over the ball, picked up by Hand. Hand snaps it down towards the full forward area, fisted away by Campbell. Now a chance for the electricity of this man, Mitchell. Robbed at the ball, though, as Dennis got an arm in there and jarred it free. And The umpire decides he'll bounce it down about 25 metres out from Claremont's attacking goal. So 32 points the difference. Just over 15 minutes played in the term. John Scott has kicked 5 so far. There he is. Wrestling. Pios tries to crash his way through the pack. It's held to him, according to the umpire. He's a happy fellow, is Pios.
Yes.
Hail fellow, well met. He's been patting opponents on the head, grinning, smiling. There's the bounce. One down by Starcevic, taken by Giannakis, and now Kickett and Pios. I don't think Pios is smiling at the moment. As Kickett's on top of him, and they're getting involved down there. Meantime, the ball is on centre wing. Otway's got it. And Otway plays on to Dennis. Dennis gives it back to Otway. Otway is across the ground. And on a lead, the mark is taken by Williams. So the game is getting pretty niggly, and umpire Bucky is having words to both Kickett and Pios behind the play, but in particular the East Perth defender. We run out to him a short time ago. I mentioned that. He's gone back in that area and having more words to Pios. Meantime, on the forward line, Wing on a lead takes the mark. So Wing with a chance to get a belated goal for East Perth at the 17-minute mark. Let's see if he can find the major opening here. His kicking at goal hasn't been too special so far. And this is no exception. They're behind, and that says it all, really. I think East Perth are just about sunk.
He is going through the motions a bit now, aren't they? Wing's made position a couple of times fairly well down at full forward, but I think he's had at least 2 and maybe 3 fairly easy shots at goals in this quarter and missed a lot.
Ball comes in, grandstand side. Owens is up, and he takes a strong mark, or rather Brayshaw. Brayshaw feeds it in. This is Malaxis. Rather untidy hand pass, but Malaxis comes away, kicking towards centre wing. Off hands. There's a chance for the brilliant Panizza. It's a foot race, and Panizza generally wins these as he spears the ball into Scott. He's got a chance to run onto it. It didn't bounce obligingly for him, though. Campbell camped over the ball. This is Morgan. Hooks it around the boundary. Dennis comes to mid. It spills across towards Grant Campbell. Campbell from his own 50-metre line kicks towards centre field and McCormack. Now a chance for East Perth to establish something as McCormack in 2 minds. Falling over was Allen. Arriving on the scene, Cam Shepherd. Dragged off it by Allen. That was bad luck for Chris Allen. Cam Shepherd will get the free on the outer side.
Well, credit there to Begovic. He refused to be drawn up to the player, so the hand pass would go over the top, and finally he forced a mistake. I thought that was pretty good thinking by Begovic.
David O'Connell's got the ball in the centre square. Scott moving around for him, but really offering very little. It's concrete down there.
That was shot.
Goes for distance down towards Scott. Big pack into the air. It's fisted away. Chance for Hand. Hand deep in the pocket. Over the ball is Bartlett. Comes out to Golding. Golding goes high. Perhaps should have given it out to Kickett. The high kick comes back towards the centre. The mark is taken courageously by Giannakis. What a fine mark that was. Tigerish player George Giannakis. This is Morgan coming out of defence now. Morgan gets it over the top to be taken by Otway. Otway gives it to Pios. Pios inside. Nice one taken by Hawkins. Hawkins goes across field. That's a good kick. Taken by Wright. He could have run another 25 metres. He kicks it to Wing. Now Wing has got the ball 35 metres out, but a gambling man would say, I don't know.
Yes, I would have backed him going down the ground. Wing, well, he's got to get one sooner or later. He's missed badly. This, I think, is his 4th shot at goal in this quarter.
Wing with a prayer goes down towards full forward and misses to the near side. Well, he's sprayed them all over the place.
He's tried both sides of the goals. He's tried everything, but he hasn't kicked a goal.
No. David Wing. Still, if you're getting the ball, that's something, I suppose. A lot of straight kicks don't get it. This is Miles.
That's the trouble, you don't ever get to know whether the straight kicks or not, do you?
That's right. Short to David O'Connell, who takes the mark. David O'Connell plays on. Runs to half-back, kicks to centre wing. Owens in front of Morgan. Owens at the second attempt takes a very good mark. Roughed up a little by Richard Dennis. It's all part of the contract when they take a juggled mark, I think. There's a little bit of roughing up that has to be done. Away comes Hawkins from half-back. Kicks towards half-forward. In front, Williams takes the mark on his chest. Well, East Perth have stuck at it. You can't say they haven't, but things like that don't help. That's a shocking kick from Williams. Picked up by Begovic. Intelligent hand pass into the path of Morton. He can go again and does. Gets the ball to Panizza. Panizza on the outer side with Mitchell, if you don't mind, a free man in the forward line. I would wonder how that happens. Mitchell gets back on the ball, left it behind. Socket off the ground by Scott. Obviously the man who was supposed to be marking Mitchell knew he was in for a bad period there. It's picked up by Malaxis, who swings it down towards the goal square. Still Mitchell and or Scott are free, and Scott will run into an open goal and kick his sixth. Well, up forward of the play, how Michael Mitchell was given that much space is unbelievable.
Well, perhaps these Perth players don't consider him a threat. As Malaxis screws the left foot over the top. He could have raffled that one. And Scott, why shouldn't he? Kicks his sixth goal, and this certainly will do him a lot of confidence. And since those early misses in that first quarter, he's done everything right. Kicked well, marked well, led well. He's done everything as you expect from a good full forward.
Back in the centre, Rucks go to it. One wide of the pack taken by Brayshaw, who runs into a dead end but manages to get the ball across to Shepherd. Claremont doing much as they like, and there's another man who's not picked up. That was Han. There's no one on him initially. The man had to come back and gather the ball. That was right. He kicks it across towards Hawkins. Hawkins, deep in his own defensive area, goes across to Morgan, who had three Claremont players around him. Good thing he took the mark. Back to Hawkins. Hawkins kicks towards centre field. Allen waiting for it. Brayshaw did brilliantly from the hands of the trainers. He got a fist in there. High kick comes towards the half-forward line. Good mark taken by Pios. Quickly releases the ball across to right. He's been quite a good player in defence. Finds McCormick. And McCormick runs down the grandstand wing. They need a long goal to East Perth. He elects to go into the pocket. Wing is there, knocked away. Morton comes away with the ball. Played by Starcevic. Pushed in the back. Well, it wasn't that. He was doing all he could, I'm sure, to take him back. Both players were travelling. This is Miles to Mitchell, again unmarked. Mitchell kicking towards the half-forward line. Pios did brilliantly. Otway collides heavily with Kickett. Spills across to David O'Connell. He goes to ground under firm tackles. Morgan over the ball, can't do much with it. Owens a chance now for Claremont. Gives it across towards Kickett. Kickett tries to kick it through the pack. Coming through solidly was Otway. Well played by East Perth as Hawkins gave it to Daru. There's still plenty of feeling out there. Daru kicking towards the half-forward line. This is Larry Kickett with dash. Swings it back towards centre wing, and now there's another box on. And obviously some of these players having their fuses shortened by words on the ground as much as anything else. Meantime, Morgan has it. Gets it across towards Allen now. Allen on the outer side wing. Kicks into attack. Can they develop something this time? Starcevic at the second attempt, competing with two others. Well, obviously trying to better the record. They said it readable a fortnight ago. And there's going to be about Starcevic thinks it was a mark.
He's suggesting about the umpire, isn't he?
Yes.
Well, he had 3 grabs. Now, that was one. I think he also gets a second.
Oh, no.
And the third, do you think? Well, I've seen worse than that.
Oh, yeah. I think Wing did tip it up in the air, though, the second time, and maybe Miles was in there on the first occasion as Brayshaw leading from the mouth. Kicks it down towards the half-forward line. Georgie Giannakis has played a fine game in that back pocket. Feeds Pios. Pios kicks towards the outer side. Otway takes the mark out there. Just over 24 minutes played. Potto's got it on the other side now, and Potto goes towards the half-forward flank, and Christian takes the mark. But it really is stop-start stuff on the forward line for East Perth.
Yeah, he's had a better third quarter, Christian.
Dennis takes a good mark opposed to Brayshaw.
What are you groaning about, Dennis?
Didn't like the look of that initially, Eric. Like that even less over the head of Potto. They just don't seem to have any method at all, do they? As it's scrambled across the goal face by Kickett. Here's Wing. It's just trying to have a snapshot, but unfortunately he's robbed it before. So Mitchell kicks it high, and it's taken by Owens. And where will Owens go? There's nothing on the grandstand side. Didn't matter. Superb smother by Morgan. Owens gives it back to Malaxis. Morgan goes hard on him. Malaxis is penalised for holding the ball.
Well, that's very harsh, but by the same token, let's give a real big pat on the back to this fellow Morgan. He tried very, very hard to keep East Perth in the play and finally succeeded. Plenty of spirit in that little encounter.
Taken by Wynn, inside to Otway. Otway from 50 metres long towards full forward. Starcevic, but Miles! Oh, that was a fine mark, wasn't it, by Miles? He went almost straight up there. Shepherd takes the mark on the line of the square, the defensive side of centre. Plays on, kicks towards half forward. Court was the target through the hands of Bartlett, taken by Han. Well, Han should have given it out. He turns around and kicks Goldwood in any case and puts it through. Goal to hand. Claremont get their 14th there, 14-7. East Perth is 7-7. Just got some highlights for you now while you're listening. Bazza. We'll take Kickett's mark at 2.5. Mitchell's goal at about 6.5. Brayshaw's mark at 17.5. Miles' mark there at 25. Okay. Now I think the passage of play, well, I'll tell you about that later after the game. Meantime, ball on the outer side. Chance for Shepherd out there. Shepherd takes the ball at left half forward. Swings it down towards the pocket. Bartlett and Court battling. Almost a good mark to the falling player. That was Bartlett, gathered by Scott. Scott comes around, sees Kickett, kicks it in that direction. Derek Kickett, who's already got 3, snaps it back brilliantly across his body, pulled it back too far, and it goes through for a behind. Good vision by Scott in the pocket. He came up and assessed the opportunities. Perhaps Kickett could have done a little bit better with that. Derek Kickett, who's become a little unsettled in this term.
His Pierce has had that effect, hasn't he?
Kick grandstand side from Campbell. Good mark taken by DeRue.
15 metres too, shouldn't be.
DeRue at half back puts the ball into the path of Cocker, who's asking a bit of the big fellow, but he did well. Feeds it inside to McCormack. 14-8 Claremont, 7-7 East Perth. McCormack up and running, gets inside 50. Oh dear, what a shocking finish. Miles to kick it. And away comes Larry. Mitchell appears to be unmarked yet again on the grandstand wing. Papotto peeled off his man Golding, came to Mitchell, and as a result Golding is free. He's got the ball now. He kicks towards half forward. There are men free everywhere. Owens has got it. Kickett wants it inside. He's got it now. Derek Kickett goes again to Panizza. Panizza deep in the pocket. Oh, was kicked high.
I have to say, what a great goal by Panizza. In fact, it looked it to me, I must confess that, but as a goal up, I didn't have a lot of time to check that out. There's Panizza running right towards it behind.
Oh, yes.
That was a goal.
I'd say so. Can we see that again?
Gee. It's up the time.
Here's Darryl Panizza. After the hand pass from Derek Kickett.
No.
That's a goal.
I don't think so that time.
We might have a look at three-quarter time again. Can we keep that around? As Chris Allen is interfered with by Derek Kickett, and he'll take a free kick. Here's the kick from Allen. Up in front, Dennis takes the mark. Richard Dennis plays on, goes across the ground, and Wing takes the mark. He's off and running. Now what can he do? Wing stabs at goal, and it's through. It wasn't all that convincing, but he got a goal nevertheless. Right on the siren. Very overcast here at Subiaco Oval, but we haven't had any rain during the league match. It rained incessantly during the reserves. And let's see what East Perth can do about getting back into this game as Mitchell goes in solidly for Claremont. Otway has tried very hard for East Perth. Boots it down towards their half-forward line. Papotto left without the ball. A chance for Larry Kickett as he gets it across to Brayshaw, who scrambles it towards the boundary line. Out of bounds on the full. And Tony Papotto finds a yard to get across there and take the kick. Drives it down towards full forward. Christian's in front. Takes the mark on his chest. Michael Christian. And this has been the problem all day for East Perth. Up forward, absolutely nothing.
Christian improved, I thought, in the third quarter after a very quiet first half, but I don't like their lineup. Resting Ruckman in the goal square. It hasn't worked. I don't think either Starstitch or Cocker have looked like kicking a goal as Christian tries to do just that.
Michael Christian misses to the near side. He's annoyed with himself. East Perth 8-8, Claremont 14-9. They missed some very easy shots at goal today. They've had plenty of the play. Don't be lulled into a false sense of security, you Claremont supporters looking at that scoreline. Claremont have been on their forward line a lot of the time, but they haven't even kicked behind. So they just wilted away these opportunities. Away comes Claremont yet again as Miles gives it across to Morton, who from the half-back flank kicks it high towards centre field. Over the top, the good mark is taken by McCormack. McCormack, nasty cut above his right eye, gives it across towards Morgan. Morgan in turn a hand pass to Starcevic. Starcevic, right half forward, drives it deep into attack yet again. Richard Dennis is up and he takes a fine mark.
Gee, Dennis has been some tremendous marks. We saw some incredible stuff from Derek Kicker in the first quarter in particular as this one comes down. And Dennis has been a very, very good competitor for East Perth today. One of two East Perth players about to go. Up he goes, eyes on for the ball and takes a good mark and a chance to kick East Perth ninth.
Richard Dennis, what's he done? I think he's missed to the near side. Gee whiz, they wasted some opportunities. And that doesn't really reflect. They've only got 8-9 on the board, but so much of the ball has just been in their forward line and nothing coming from it.
Yeah, I think the midfield kicking too has been very, very ordinary, and a lot of the hand passing has done nothing more than set teammates up, really. So statistics won't tell the full story, I don't think.
Miles to the grandstand side. Up goes Owens, who's got a very good pair of hands, this young man.
He played pretty well. He took Davidson's place in the third quarter, and Davidson left the ground, and he's done very well since.
Yes, Davidson came off with what appeared to be a shoulder injury. This is Golding. Gets it across to David O'Connell. O'Connell forward of centre wing, kicking towards half forward. Almost the mark taken down there by Mitchell. Swooping on the loose ball is Begovic. He's inside 50 metres, setting for the kick. Not a particularly good effort. It wobbles down towards the pocket. In front down there, a chance for Mitchell. Mitchell rides one bump, and that's got to be holding the ball. Good decision by the umpire. Good tackle by Morgan.
Well, that's the tenacity that East Perth have displayed today, because you would have conceded that goal, I think, to Mitchell. Once he got possession, as he did then, it would almost put down the glasses, but they persevered and have been rewarded.
Pios working it out of defence, finds Hawkins. They've got an extra man out there. It's Starcevic cruising past. Now the big fellow needs a kick, and he does that towards half forward wing. It has been the chief culprit on the forward line with missed opportunities. Pops the ball into the path of Christian, and Christian takes a very strong mark on the lead. So East Perth showing a lot of fight this afternoon. My word, they've had a tough time of it in recent times, the last 3 or 4 weeks, but showing a lot of durability this afternoon. They're sticking at their task.
Even better that mark when you consider that he really appeared to run under the ball, had more of his prop and come back, and a very, very good grab by Christian.
Michael Christian has kicked the goal. He's elated.
Well, so he should be, because, well, football's a funny game, I suppose. It's a margin of exactly 5 goals now in favour of Claremont. Perhaps the elation is more so because finally the goal has been threaded through after so many easy misses, and it just gives East Perth that little glimmer of hope. But again, full marks for their tenacity, and that one can be traced right down to the other end of the ground, and the pressure was applied to Mitchell and turned an almost certain goal into a free kick to East Perth.
5 goals the difference then. Claremont lead. What breeze there is favouring the western end, the end of which East Perth are finishing. McCormack goes without the ball. Otway tries to kick it through the pack, couldn't succeed. Golding gets it out to Panizza, who has that happy knack of hanging off packs and picking up kicks. It comes back towards Malaxis. He's under the pump on the outer side now, Steve Malaxis. Hand passes straight to Morgan, who controlled that ball brilliantly with the one hand guiding it down. He's upended, was Morgan, as he kicked by Derek Kickett around the outer side. East Perth working forward. This is Dennis. Infield, Otway. He's grabbed by hand, still he goes, gets it across towards Starcevic. East Perth showing plenty at the present time, but Dintino Santi comes through to break it up and chips it out wide to find Malaxis, who hasn't been a dominant player this afternoon. Steve Malaxis carries the ball, and hand passes across to Panizza. He had a brilliant first half as he kicks into attack. Campbell was up, fisting away down there. Giannakis, who's been a fine player, pushed off the ball. White is in there too. Coming through is Scott. He's dragged to ground, and the ball spills through for a behind.
A couple of almost free kicks there at East Perth, I thought. They've certainly persisted, haven't they? And Claremont, even though they've showed far more class, have never really been able to run to their free-flowing game at any stage today, and that's credit to East Perth.
Giannakis comes along the grandstand side. McCormack's up in front, almost the juggle mark. Still he goes, knocks the ball across to Pios. Well played. Pios wants a little bit too much time. Kicks towards centre field. He did it well. Gathered nicely too by Hawkins. Hawkins in the centre square, kicking towards half forward. Dennis should mark this, and he does. So flickers of life from East Perth as Papono takes the hand pass. Long towards full forward. Cocker, what can he do? The big fellow almost throws it across the wing. Well, they've had no luck, and that really is indicative of it all.
Well, he did the right thing, didn't he, in the goal square, shipped that ball through. It almost worked. The Claremont player, Miles just got a hand to it. and then the ball ran away, and Wing was in no position to do much about it either. A bit unfortunate.
Very frustrating for the Royals. Close to the boundary line. Pushed across the boundary line by Owens, and will have a boundary throw in.
Fairly significant here, Dennis, too. Christian's gone to full forward and Dennis to centre half forward. I think that makes their forward line look a far better unit than it did in the first 3 quarters.
Agreed. Court wins it out of the pack. Knocked on again, taken by Brayshaw. Brayshaw's kick hugging the boundary line. It bounces out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
Worth mentioning too, Dennis, that Panizza playing his 150th, 23 kicks to 3/4 time. Not bad effort.
Marvellous effort. Thrown on the outer side then. Court and Starcevic, one down by the ladder. Otway, what a fine game, Wayne Otway. Chips it in short, the mark should be taken by McCormack. He's too far out to score. Go back and have some time. McCormack goes towards full forward. Christian and Beers, and the mark is taken behind by Larry Kickett. Hand passes over the top. Michael Mitchell, who's been explosive again today, then gives it to Christian. And Christian couldn't believe his good fortune, proceeds to kick it out of bounds in the full. Wow.
Well, it was a bit of a gift, wasn't it? I think Christian didn't want to accept charity on that occasion. Once he got it, I really think he should have done far more with it. He's out of bounds by about 40 metres or thereabouts. And
that would be surprising, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would catch a little bit on the hop, wouldn't it?
Unless you call for it. Ball around the outer side. That was McCormack waiting behind a chance for Golding. Away he goes. Golding towards centre wing. Drifting across the mark is taken out there by Tate. Tate gives it across towards Golding. Towards half forward. Hand and his marker right in close attendance out there. Right in the first bang. Hasn't played a bad game, right? Feeds it across to Giannakis. Giannakis runs up through the centre. Kicks towards half forward. Dennis in front. Knocked away there by Brayshaw. Roving the pack is Williams. Does pretty well out of mid-air. And did he find the boundary? No, he didn't. He cleared the boundary on the full. That must have been very close to landing on the boundary line. Crowd down there thought it did. And the kick will be taken by Beers. Directing traffic close to the boundary line with a high kick. Starcevic is up, gets a fist in there. Knocking it towards the boundary line is Brayshaw, who's played a solid defensive game. Took a heavy knock around the face, but stuck to his task manfully. Sort of supporter they need. Well, he's more than that. He's in the side, I think, to stay. He's the sort of defender they need. As the ball is scrambled across the half-back line of Claremont now, Panizza cleverly gets it across to Mitchell, and Mitchell boots it towards the centre of the ground. Kick it over it. Cleverly knocks it out to Malaxis. Malaxis runs up towards the line of the square, the defensive side of centre, and chips it into the path of O'Connell. Bartlett gets a fist in there. The ball going out towards the boundary line. Bartlett and O'Connell. Bartlett, I thought, was pushed in the back. So did O'Connell initially. He realised the free kick wasn't awarded against him, so he dived back on the ball and tied it up. So look at that again.
Bartlett suggesting the umpire perhaps the whistle's broken down. Gee, that was a fairly obvious one. And the umpire's right on the spot too.
Yes, letting the game flow. Derek Kickett tries to kick it out of mid-air and misses. He's gone out of the game since half-time. A brilliant first half from Kickett. And a free kick has been awarded out there to Hawkins. Hawkins is down towards the half-forward flank area. Starcevic battling out there with Tate. Close to the boundary line. In comes Mitchell. Mitchell breaks away. Kicks across centre, finding Panizza. Harold Panizza, forward of right centre wing, with his side leading 14-10 to 9-9. Kicking high towards half forward. Out comes John Scott. No contest. Scott takes the mark. Begovic dropping back off the pack. That was quick thinking, and Scott gets the ball to him. Begovic was at the foot of that pack as the high ball came in. As it turned out, no one contested with Scott, but Begovic peeled off quickly, ran on some 25 metres and took the short pass.
Yes, and Campbell, who's played fullback on Scott all day, has been outclassed all day, has never at any stage, in my opinion, looked like a fullback.
Tony Begovic, he's missed a couple of easy ones today. In fairness to Claremont, we've talked about the misses at the other end. As you can see, the crowd taking advantage of the best facilities in town in which to view league football. Subiaco Oval, a neutral venue for this game this afternoon. Hawkins marks the kick in. 14-11 Claremont, 9-9 East Perth. Chris Allen, who's played a pretty good game. His finishing hasn't been all that good. Cuts inside Shepherd. Again, a poor kick into the forward line. Otway's in front, almost retarded. Coming through his Cocker. Still it's Cocker over the ball. He flicks it out. It comes eventually to Brayshaw, as Miles knocked it down to him. And Brayshaw scrambles it towards the boundary line. It bounces out of bounds and will have a throw in at right half forward for East Perth.
A clever little scoop, wasn't it? I think it fooled everybody.
Should patent that one. As the boundary throw in then, Tate opposed to Starcevic, comes back with the pack for Potto, almost tackled before he had the ball, coming through as Owens, high up and under. DeRue battling with Malaxis. They've been an interesting tussle, neither had a pronounced influence on the game. Richard Dennis gets on the end of it, almost missed that, but well done, he held it, and now has a chance to fire on goal from 30 metres at the 11.5-minute mark of the term. A chance to bring East Perth closer. He'll be inside 5 goals if he gets this. The way they've kicked at goal, nothing is guaranteed today. That's better. Goal to Richard Dennis and East Perth.
Yes, again, the significance of that move. Dennis to centre half forward, a very, very talented young player. He burst on the scene, several years ago now. He's still only probably a teenager, or very early in his 20s, but he's really performed very well at centre half forward. And as I said, Christian's also lifted at full forward. So, well, while there's a bit of life, you never know. That's 2 goals, the only 2 goals, in fact, that have been kicked and scored are both to East Perth.
Well, a couple of goals would make it interesting as Starcevic goes up and wins it down. Golding crashes his way through the pack. It's a hand pass out to Shepherd. Gives it back to Golding. Golding swings it out wide looking for Mitchell. He's played a strange sort of a game today, Michael Mitchell, bobbing up in the right spaces. But he hasn't been the dominant force that we've seen on other occasions. The ball is worked forward by Tate. The mark is taken down there. I thought it was a mark. What happened? It must have been touched off the boot. Coming through was Morgan. He was mugged after he took that ball on what appeared to be the full. It's going to be a bounce.
So he made pretty sure no one hit him head on, didn't they? Front on. The foot was nice and high.
So there's the bounce down. Wide of the pack. A chance for Mitchell yet again. Twisting and turning Mitchell at left half forward. He pulls it back. Scott going back with the flight of the ball. That's a magnificent mark.
It's pretty limp work by Campbell again at the rear. He's been I don't know, I would have thought a change might have been necessary. Here's Campbell again, holds back, and up goes Scott. No credit away from Scott. He really has marked and run very well at full forward. Perhaps didn't kick as well as he should have early on, but he's still got 6 and he should make this 7. But I don't know about Campbell as a fullback. I think an awfully long way to go.
John Scott against his old side, a chance to kick his 7th. If he does, it makes the task for East Perth very difficult. No, it hasn't got the carry. Kick it bobs up though and pops it through.
It's interesting, that. I'm not too sure that ball didn't cross the line from Scott. In fact, I'd like to have another look at that perhaps, because I'm inclined to think the goal umpire suggested the ball had carried from the initial kick. Anyway, the goal is on the board. That's all that matters for Claremont as Scott comes in to have that shot. He's coming back. So now the goal umpire immediately calls for it. I'd suggest that was a goal to Scott. He indicated that was a goal before Kickett actually kicked it the second time, so I'll give that to Scott myself.
Decided that was Scott's goal, watching the replay there. Goal umpire indicating it was his decision before Kickett grabbed the ball and popped it through. So Kickett still has 3, Scott has 7. Giannakis has got the ball. Starcevic has got it now. So Claremont 14-12 with East Perth 10-9. Starcevic has tried hard. Lobs a high kick towards half forward. Surely it's a free kick to Owens.
Even before he hit the ground, Hurricane Wiggett conceded that one. He didn't have much choice, did he? He was very shamefaced when he came down.
Sheepish at half back. He kicks towards the centre square area. Bartlett's got the run of it. Kickett mows him down from behind. Good tackle. And the kick will go to Kickett.
I didn't see anybody suggesting to Bartlett to kick that ball though.
Derek Kickett plays on. Drives it out wide looking for Mitchell and or Court. Forward of the pack, it's taken by Begovic. He should give it over to Mitchell and does. Mitchell, it's a question of accuracy. He makes it always something a little bit more as he cuts infield, then pulls it back across his body for another goal.
Well, I guess the problem all day for Claremont and other sides, of course, is that just so many classy players, so many star players in this Claremont unit that we've seen it today. East Perth battle for so long to get a goal on the board, and it almost seems as though whenever they want a goal, Claremont can just release 1 or 2 of their better players. As we watch Begovic walk one way, then a very, very slick hand pass to Mitchell, and once that happened, that was the end of it. And Mitchell's 23rd kick. All his plays in fits and starts, but played enough good stuff to keep by 23.
Richard Dennis goes to ground, taken high, he'll get a free kick. Ball knocked down towards half forward. Dennis had the run of it. Ships it across to Allen. Now what will Allen do with this kick? That's a better effort. Deep into attack. waiting behind Miles, prepared himself for that leap into the sky and then realised he wasn't quite to it, and the ball goes through for a behind. 10-10 to 16-11. The Tigers lead as Miles kicks in, goes very close to the man standing the mark, but finds Owens. Owens with a hand pass across to Shepherd. Shepherd deep in his own defensive area, goes out wide looking for Malaxis, who's taken the mark. Not much on up ahead for him. He'll go to David O'Connell. He's the tall target. Bartlett in close attendance does well, getting a fist in there, and the ball spills out of bounds. So the revival for East Perth, short-lived in this term. They kicked a couple of early goals, but they've fallen by the wayside now. Up goes O'Connell, knocked away by Cocker, close to the boundary line. It's out of bounds. We'll have another throw in. 107-70. 17 minutes played final term on what's been a gloomy Saturday afternoon here in Perth. Cocker flicks it backward of the pack. Holding's got the run of it. Eventually it comes to Giannakis, who was standing in his path, and Giannakis runs a good 100 up to centre wing and kicks towards half forward. Owens, as he's done since he came out of the ground, pops back and takes the mark. Owens comes to the grandstand side, hand from behind, spoils Allen. Allen beats a couple of them, well played, gets a good shepherd from Starcevic, runs inside 50, Chris Allen,
good goal.
and kicks a goal. What a fine goal that was. Fine individual performance by Chris Allen, one of the veterans in this side.
Yes, and he, along with the other small East Perth veteran, Elkway, have certainly provided a bit of zip, and this is Allen now, taps the ball over the top. First grab, away he goes. There's a quick look to see he's got a little bit of space, and once he did, he had established that, he went on his way, and with his 19th kick, he kicked his first goal. So, again, East Perth at least making the scoreboard pretty respectable. Dennis, no real threat of Claremont, I don't think, but a fairly good, well, not inspiration, but a keen performance by East Perth, shall we say.
Taken by Allen again, wobbles a kick towards half forward. Brayshaw comes across, gathers the ball and boots it towards the boundary. And we'll have a boundary throw in front of the stand as Tom Williams goes off the ground. This from out the big winners over the Swan Districts. That will be for sure and certain. Coming through as Allen yet again to Otway. Two of the senior players who really have shouldered the responsibility this afternoon. Brayshaw, a bit unfortunate there as Cocker tries to go through the pack. Owens gets it out towards Brayshaw, close to the boundary line. Dennis keeps it in play. Brayshaw tries to dive on it. This is Hand coming away eventually. Weight of numbers telling the story there for Claremont. Hand just gets away from Cocker. Boots it towards centre wing. Down comes O'Connell to take the mark on his chest. Gives it to Shepherd. Shepherd a clever kick into the path of Mitchell. Mitchell can give it to Panizza and does. Panizza 50 metres out. Kicks towards full forward. What's he done? It's deserving of a goal. And he's got it. His 150th Darryl Panizza. And what a fine chain of events that was for the Tigers.
It's just about the best passage of play I think we've seen today. Mitchell gets it. Could have gone across to Panizza initially, but Mitchell made sure of that. And Panizza, who always gives you somebody to hand pass to, didn't even bother to use up his pace on that occasion. Quietly confident from 50 metres. No reason to doubt it as Scott watches it land on the line and then begins to applaud. Very good goal.
17-11 to 11-10. There's Darryl Panizza. A fine player over the years for the Tigers. Their vice-captain. Cannot move it again, this time through Golding to Shepherd. Shepherd goes down towards Scott. Pio showed courage to go back after the ball. Coming out was Morgan. Picked up by Campbell. Crashing into him was Kickett. Campbell was taken high. That's bad luck for East Perth because they have the run of the ball around the outer side. Pios has to stop and send it back to Campbell. Grant Campbell playing at full back this afternoon. Had a lot of problems. McCormack is up, could have almost been paid the mark. Mitchell cruises through, left it behind, taken by Otway. The short one is on to Allen. Allen's on centre wing. He's confronted by a hand. He boots it down towards half forward. Coming out is Miles. Miles thumps it away. Christian was hurt in that exchange. Leading the race is Blakely. Manages to keep it in play. Dennis confronted by Miles. It comes across towards Wing. Wing's over the ball, surrounded by Claremont players. And the umpire Bucky has no alternative but to bounce it down. So there's still commitment there from players of both sides. That was physical. And that's been instinctive in East Perth's football this afternoon. But not enough skill to match the Tigers. Brayshaw's hand pass intercepted by Dennis. Papotto's got it now as he goes down towards full forward. Dropping back, the mark is taken by Piers. And he's looked pretty good at centre half back today. Beers out of the goal square. Beers is up in front, takes the mark. I suppose the only blemish as far as Beers has been concerned has been Dennis early in this term, although I think now Brayshaw is playing on Dennis. Otway gets a hand pass to Papoto meantime. Papoto steadies and chips it across to Allen, who can run inside 50. This should be a question of accuracy yet again. And generally today he hasn't had that, Chris Allen. Again he misses.
It's a shame. He's certainly worked his heart out for his Perth, as I said, the two veterans. In fact, you could say that about the other one too, Otway. He has perhaps not used the ball as well as he could, but both have certainly showed plenty of endeavour.
Beers, intelligent kick, well-weighted kick as he finds Shepherd on the outer side. Seems West Perth have moved into the 4. West Perth leading South Fremantle. 20-odd points today. That game's still in progress, but not much time left, I would imagine. 22 minutes gone here as McCormick runs through the centre. Perth are coming back at Subi. Subi were big leaders at half-time, but Subi's lead has been whittled away. It's back to about 26 points now. Good to see South so competitive today. Full credit to Don Hanno. Peterborough hasn't been one of their better grounds in recent seasons. This is Golding on the outer side meantime as he kicks it towards half forward. Scott the leaper from behind. Kick it reads off hands. Knocks it on, but only as far as Morgan. Morgan gives it to Pios. Pios has done a good job since he came on, curbing the effectiveness of Derek Kickett. Pios boots it towards half forward. Wing takes a very good mark. He's away now, Wing. What can he do? The kick is blanketed. Leading in the race taken by Tate. It's his hand. Plenty of time as he gives it to Kickett. Going past him as Miles. Claremont will run it out yet again. Miles kicking towards half forward. In front, almost the mark there to right. In fact, it's been paid.
Begovic giving orders.
17-11 Claremont, 11-11 East Perth. White goes short and finds Giannakis. Giannakis across the half-back line for the Royals. Short one is on towards Daru. That's the way he goes and finds Daru. Steve Daru inside the centre square. Kicks towards half forward and Dennis offered a very good lead. He's been a little too agile for Brayshaw. Chipped over the top. Not a particularly good kick and showing a lot of courage was Miles. Sliding in around the feet of Starcevic to take that mark. The kick out of defence, not a good one from Miles. Chance for Papoto after Dennis won the ball. Papoto inside 50, kicks towards full forward. And what's he done? I think he's kicked a goal. Now it's a behind, and that just grazed the post.
So it's getting pretty dark then. The old goal umpire might be forgiven for missing something down there. It's really bleak at the moment.
Kick in from Beers, and Mitchell should take the mark and does. Yes, it is. It's very dark. It's been fortunate, really, that we haven't had any rain during the course of the league game. It rained very hard during the reserves, almost non-stop for about an hour and a half. When play started in this game, it was very greasy, but the longer it's gone, the drier it's got, obviously, on the surface. But I suppose the first quarter flew in the face of all of that because we saw some magnificent skills, some wonderful marking in the first quarter, quite freakish marking, given the slippery conditions out there. Derek Kickett took 3 outstanding marks, and generally the ball skills early on occasions were outstanding as Malaxis gets a free kick. 113-78. Steve Malaxis, not a dominant player this afternoon. Centre wing, he kicks towards half forward. Big pack at the fall of the ball. It's knocked on there by O'Connell. East Perth lead back in the race though. Over the ball is Morgan. Still Morgan goes. Boots it back towards Chris Allen, and Allen takes the mark on the outer side. Confronted by Tate, was thinking about moving on.
Didn't think for long, did he?
No. No decision to make in the end.
Very quick change of mind.
Allen chips it in short to Daru.
Oh,
dear.
Gee, that's very casual.
He attempted to appeal against the line, I think. It comes across to Tate, to Shepherd. It's his only chance. He can't claim it was the son. This is O'Connell. He was ridden into the ground, but I think that's a good decision.
Yes, indeed. I think everybody's just waiting for that last siren. Dennis, a little bit unsighted at the moment.
This is Allen.
Gee, that's absolutely pointless, isn't it? I mean, 15 metres across the ground, and even then it was a risky one.
Morgan's got it now. Into time on, 25.5 minutes gone. Morgan slips as he kicks. McCormick takes the mark on his chest, though. McCormick on the 50-metre line. Kicks high now towards full forward. Dennis is drifting back. Miles comes over the top. Starcevic is pushed off it, and it's a force behind. Well, it's never dull when Jeff Miles is in the vicinity. He relishes jumping into and over those packs. Kick comes in and Owens takes the mark. Owens from half back, kicks towards centre wing. Mitchell is going back with a flight of the ball. I think Morgan was rather kind there, realising it was very late in the day and he didn't come in too hard on Mitchell, and Hand breaks away, goes down towards the pocket, and Court takes the mark, and the big fellow has a chance to kick a goal, and he does. Claremont's 18. He doesn't kick too many, David Court. 18-11 to 11-13.
Yes, I think he has been a very, very good player for Claremont, particularly early in the game when I suppose the game was still there to be won as Hand breaks away, one bounce. I think he saw Court okay there and came across beautifully. Once he had open goal ahead of him and Court made no mistake, but I thought his rucking in the first, certainly 2.5 quarters anyway, was of the highest order, and I think he had the call over the East Perth pair in Starcevich and Cocker. He's gone out of the game since then, but I think the job was well and truly done in those opening couple of quarters, because from that point on, Claremont have had this game well and truly in their control.
I had West Perth back in the 4. I see South Fremantle are back to within 6 points at Leederville Oval. Meantime, back in the centre, it's taken away by Mitchell after a good ruck knock from Tate. Mitchell drives it towards half forward. Derek Kickett takes the mark. Well held by Pios since half time. He was electrifying in the first half. He's too far out to score. He goes looking for Scott. Scott couldn't take the mark. Bartlett over the top. Papoto feeds it to the run of this man coming up from half back. That's Wright. Wright runs towards the centre. Pulls it back looking for Wing. Too much carry on the kick. Shepherd storms back, controls it nicely, lays the ball off to Larry Kickett. There's nothing up ahead, so Kickett props and comes back against the grain and kicks it to Dintino Santi. Dintino Santi plays on, rides it back towards the outer side. Doing well was Hawkins. There's a fight on. Gee, you've got to be keen to fight at this late stage, and it's a pretty dinkum one back on the half-back line for the Tigers. Meantime, they work the ball forward. This is Mitchell. Mitchell gets it across to Golding, and Golding from 30 metres out stabs towards full forward and puts through another one for the Tigers, who lead at 19-11 now. To East Perth's 11-13.
Well, Dennis, they probably reckon it's that dark they could get away with a couple of right hooks, because it is very, very bleak out there. The camera, the picture there doesn't tell the whole story. Very, very bleak indeed. But another goal to Golding. He really hasn't been as influential as other times I've seen Claremont play. And he relaxes a couple of players that usually get a lot of kicks for Claremont. I mean, just modest players today, but it hasn't stopped Claremont nonetheless.
That was the final score at Leederville Oval. Final score, so West Perth won by 6 points as Malaxis scrambles the ball out of the centre, only as far as right of East Perth. Right, a long hand pass out wide. This is Morgan over the ball now for the Royals. Morgan, a high kick inside half forward. Tate is up uncontested and takes the mark. Tate has the ball half back. And some words to say to Christian.
Something that happened. Christian's persistence when he's on the mark often gets him into trouble with the 15-metre penalty. It didn't matter much that time. He'd been penalised about 6 or 7 times today for refusing to come back on the mark.
O'Connell was pushed in the back, as you saw. He'll take the free kick at the fall of the ball. There's the final siren. And Claremont have won it 19-11-125 to East Perth 11-13-79. We'll be back to talk about the game right after this.